Welcome back to another Montreal Canadiens play-by-play, another weekly report for the Montreal Canadiens. I'm watching the New York Rangers against the Florida Panthers. The Panthers just scored a goal, but it looked like for me it's going to be no goal. But we'll see what will be happening. But that's the one that pop up live. Was behind. But welcome back, everybody. It's a Monday night, a special weekly report because the Montreal Canadiens played yesterday, and we decided to do this tonight, and that will finish season or the year 2024. Tomorrow, Montreal play at 3 o'clock p.m. We're going to do the play-by-play game, so it'll be the last show of the year of the Ab Nation and the Hockey Nation. Thanks for being a part of the show tonight. Hopefully, you're doing well. And you're going to talk about the Montreal Canadiens, a perfect weekend for the Montreal Canadiens. I'm going to talk about the review of the week and the year 2024, and of course, the preview of the upcoming week for the Montreal Canadiens. I'm going to do also tomorrow the game Canada versus USA at 8 o'clock p.m. So it's a double header at the Hockey Nation tomorrow. Join me live talking about the Montreal Canadiens and, of course, the Team Canada. Team Canada. We could talk about this for about the full show if we start talking about Team Canada, but it's not going to happen tonight. At the end of the show, guys, maybe we have a time going to review the. Look like the goal was Rangers never go on the review goal. Anyhow, after the show, we're going to open the line for everybody and talking about of you at the end of the day and what's happening to you during the year 2024 and what you're looking for 2025. So stay with us. We don't have no deadline tonight what I'm going to finish, but a weekly report could not happen with my co-host Enortap. He is back with us directly from Toronto. And we have the man from Nova Scotia. He's maybe tonight. He's going to be with us with a voice like that because he's sick. We welcome back, Mr. Devon is in the house tonight.
What's going on, Coach?
And Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Coach, I never thought you'd say it was a perfect weekend for the Habs. It's got such a beautiful ring to it. I love that.
It's rare, right?
It's rare, but
I'll be honest
only
with
for
you.
now.
That remind me, guys, the playoff 2021, or when they run all the way to the Stanley Cup. That was the time when I was doing the play by play, and it was amazing race. That's happening during the
You
weekend.
know,
This the feeling, the fans right now. It's good. You always said don't be too high, don't be too low, but I think it's good to finish the year 2024. Some of you maybe have some challenge, and then you have that Montreal Canadiens finish with the 2W. Can they do a trifecta?
tough one.
It'll be a
Vegas
very
is looking
difficult one
very
for
solid.
sure tomorrow night. But before we start, we're going to welcome everybody. If you don't mind, then we'll move on. First of all, we have Sir Alexandre Carrier with all the update. Only 3 games in NHL. Florida Panthers came back with a goal now to take the lead by 1 goal. After the lead by 2, Rangers tied the game 2-2 with 2 goals in 2 minutes, approximately. And the Winnipeg Jet and the Predator 0-0. And Utah take the lead 1-0 against the Kraken. Under the goal of Logan Cooley is 9 of the year. RJ Calabro is in house. Claude Richard, Martin Beznet, the Waterloo is in the house. Welcome back. Gabriel, notre ami Gabriel. Welcome back, Gabriel. Hopefully you're doing well. And then we have PLW go tonight with Sheffley for 3 extra shot about that one over there. Good luck, PLW. And Roger Bouchard is in the house. Welcome back, Butch. Hopefully doing well. Steven Beggar. Happy New Year, Steven Beggar. Long time, Steven. And thanks again for Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Then my draft pick is getting high, Coach Martin. Here we go. Roger Delaney is in the house. Welcome back, Roger. Hopefully doing well. Danny T knocked the door.
Roger the
Welcome,
Master.
Danny T. A2, think he's
Danny.
going to be in the mix. Well, welcome back, A2. Steve G from Colorado. is welcome back, Steve. Hopefully, you're doing well. You and your family. Happy New Year, Pete Martin. Pete is in the house. Bob Smith knocked the door tonight. Then we have try to get it. Jack McCool. Love this name. Back in the house tonight. Welcome back. Hopefully you're doing well. Brendan, Weatherman, Monsieur Enortap, un ami Brendan, our friend
Oui, oui.
Brendan of the hockey of the warm-up show. Back in the house tonight. Danny T, moderator, is back also with us. Alex K is with us tonight. Alex, hopefully you're doing well. And you're doing great. I think Alex is in Albuquerque, well, Albuquerque and New Mexico.
Albuquerque,
There
New
we go.
Mexico. Yes.
Sorry about
yes.
that. Too many about that. And that's what we got so far. So thanks, everybody. Don't forget, please, to click on the likes. And we wish you, everybody, of course, a happy new year. But before we talk about the cheese, we're going to talk about what happening to both of you. Right now, it's after the holidays, right? The Christmas is over. Now it's coming the new year. Well, we're a little bit over the half now, but what happening to you Christmas, Mr. Enortap, and what you preview of the what's coming for the 2025 at New Year?
Well, I got to say, Coach, there's been no lack of sports on TV. That's for sure. It's been great following the junior team. It's been fantastic following the Habs and some other teams along the way. The NFL is getting into full swing with the playoffs coming up around the corner. NBA is in full swing as well, and they always play on Christmas. So you put it all together, and I'm sure you've been watching a heck of a lot more than I have when you put it together with Demidov and some other picks that you've been watching. There's definitely no shortage, and it's been fantastic in terms of family. It's been great to have some time off and just sort of come back down to earth a little bit, and we're looking forward to a nice New Year's Eve.
Well said. With a bit a voice, with hopefully you're going to feel better, speed recovery, Devin. But what it looked like so far in Nova Scotia?
Yeah, it was a good holidays for us. Feel fine. It's my voice that's a problem, so I'll do my best. It was a good holiday. We had family here. We watched lots of sports, lots of good hockey from the Canadiens. Yvonne Demidov was fun to watch. Yeah, the World Juniors have been not so great to watch, but hopefully it's going to get better, and we'll have a good game to watch tomorrow night. So 2 good games to watch tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome, Devin. Hopefully you find your voice at some point. But, hey,
Yeah, I don't know if it's
you need to get there.
it's going to get. If it's not going to get better, we might rethink this.
Yeah, we wish you the best. Mike Elliott is in the house. Sandeman is back with us. I'm doing well, Mr. Gabriel. Steve G said, Holy Jesus.
Yeah, holy Jesus is right.
Pete Martin and Mickey Mouse is in the house about
It's
that.
the Godfather.
The big bird. Ron with Kings, moderator, is also with us watching the team Utah. He's happy about the Kings. The Kings won a big game yesterday, 5-4. And Dach surprised the Edmonton Oilers yesterday by the score 5-3, I believe. And Ottawa finally stopped the 2 loss. Ottawa is looking good for the last in December, anyway. And that's happening there. So thanks for being a part of the show tonight. Don't forget the guys to click on the like if you don't mind. That'd be great. And we're going to start right away. And can you thank Elvis, Danny, about that? Montreal Canadiens, guys, the first news is honestly Caden Primo. We know already what happened with Dobes. But Primo was honestly the situation to see what happening when they put him on the waiver. If a team were going to claim him or not, and what it will happen after that. So yesterday or today, I don't know. I'm confusing right now with I'm so lost. I don't know which day we are. I don't know. I just want to get sure we press the January 1st, and then after that would be my normal schedule because right now, the game afternoon, the game after it's just crazy. It's just like I don't know. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Like I I don't know what's going on this year. I'm really confused. I'll be honest with you. And I watched. I don't know during the weekend. I watched like 9 game hockey and with Demi Dob and with Montreal Canadiens, the Team Canada, and I watched a junior between that, and so it's like a really busy weekend. And then I go out, and it's just like, and that's not including the cheese on the table. I left the last 2 days. Tap. I left too many cheese on the table the last 2 days. It's a
Yeah.
crazy time in
Just
Thailand,
make
but you taste it a little bit, you're looking good, but after that, you have to be disciplined. That you have to be disciplined, and I think that's my best quality in my life to be disciplined. I go to the gym. I take care about my body. I don't drink a lot. But when it's time for the cheese, it's like it's this thing. It's teasing, and then he said, yeah, but you have to work. So I left 2 days ago. I have to work at 1 o'clock a.m. I left at 12:35, I believe. Take 15 minutes walking, everything like that. So it was hard. And tonight is a big night, right? So there's the celebration, the fireworks, everybody's left and right, and So but I have to come back at 3 o'clock. So
coach.
uh,
Coach, in Thailand, it's a celebration every night. I don't
well,
know. You keep coming up with
yeah,
these invitations. You can
yeah.
find a celebration every single night in Thailand.
But yeah, the cheeses look better right now, like any time during the year. So that's the trend between now and usually it is. When you eat the old cheese, it's not. But now it's
No,
like
no.
the new fresh. They really launched the new cheese for 2025. I think that's the trend right there. But we'll see what happening about
Oh
it.
boy.
Trudy the Mark, welcome back in the house. Thank you everybody to be a part of the show. So Primo was not claimed by any team. He was to report to the Laval Rocket. And I'll be honest with you guys. I understand the fact, like, you know, he did not do well. He really struggled. And, but honestly, I wish the best for Kenan Primo. Like, I hope he can recover with Laval Rocket. Hopefully, he have a good number there. He get his confidence back. He looked like he was last season with the Montreal Canadiens, and that's what I'm looking for with Kenan Primo. And I don't want to put, I'm sure he's not listening to us, but I don't think him to put him down and never go with Montreal Canadiens and everything like that. We see what the Montreal have a plan. Um, I think for me, they really talk to him. They really sit with him, explain the plan, what they're looking for, and he's the only one can figure out himself. And when I said that, to how he's going to respond for that demo to go to Laval, he's been there before, and we'll see. Montreal played 3 weekend back to back, so they did yesterday. They're going to do the next one, and then he had another one after that. And then that we gave Primo approximately um, 4 game or 5 game in front of him. He's not going to be all the 5 game, but excellent. He got 3 game, and then Dobes stay a little bit more longer, maybe another couple of days. January Montreal is really busy. Like 1 game every 2 nights. Things starting in the 12, I believe, until to the end. They play 14 game that month because the February guys you're missing 2 weeks, right? So they really collapse all the schedule together and a lot of big game there. So I think possible Tobes stay 1 more week after that and Primo. What after that it could be called up. I really believe it could happen. I wouldn't be surprised. They can call up Primo back with Montreal and now you'd be saying, why do you do that? But I think Tobes need more game for his development. I think they would prefer to have Tobes and Laval and finish the season there and get, the 3 game per week compared only one with the Montreal can. Now, Montreal's busy schedule, it could change everything, and Primo does not respond. It will stay Laval. But I think for me, Montreal is not going to go on the market to get a goaltender. I don't think so. So we'll see what happens with Kenan Primo. So Enortap, and I don't know if you have any other option or you feel the same way I've just expressed about Kenan Primo.
Yeah, of course, you want everything best for Primo. I think he's really a classy individual as a player and as a human being. I have absolutely no qualms about that. Saying it, the issue is at the end of the day, you have to perform, right? And the reason he's in this predicament is, unfortunately, this year he hasn't shown it, and he hasn't shown it at a consistent level, and that's where we are right now. I hope that in going back down to Laval, I'm not overly surprised that nobody picked him up, just based on the analytics so far this year. But if he can sort of turn it around, and I think you said it best, Coach, when you said it's really, the ball is in his court. If he can sort of just gain some confidence. I think it's all about that. If he can gain some confidence in Laval and sort of build on his game one step at a time, yeah, we may very well see him coming back up. Just because I think they don't want to keep Dobes here the entire year. They want him to play as much as possible, and he's not going to get that same opportunity here in Montreal than he will in Laval, and that's what's best for his development. Final thing, I don't know about a trade. There could always be something in the works. You never know. If they've really given up all hope on Primo, then expect something. Maybe a veteran goalie coming into the fold. I don't anticipate it, but it wouldn't surprise me if that happened, at least till the end of the year, and then they can reassess after that.
David?
Yeah, I agree with almost all of that. I would say that I was surprised that he didn't get picked up on waivers. Despite the fact that he has struggled mightily this year, he has been a good goalie for most of his career. He was a good college goalie. He had a good career in the AHL before he came to Montreal, and he had decent numbers last year. Um, I'm surprised that a team didn't take a chance on a 26-year-old goalie who has shown some promise. I'm happy that he cleared waivers because I'm happy to have him still in the organization. I'm glad he's down in Laval. I think it's probably the best opportunity for him to find himself and to get his game back. And I hope he does that. I was very surprised at the timing of all of this. I really don't see Kent Hughes as a guy who makes moves without having a plan in place or without having a safety net in place. Because I mean, we've seen Dobek obviously had a fantastic debut against Florida, but it didn't have to be that way. It could have been very different. And if he had not been good, things could have been, difficult for the Canadians as far as, what do we do now? Caden Primo isn't good enough. Dobesh isn't good enough. Who do we go to next? And, if Dobesh wasn't, didn't do as well as he did in that first game and Primo had got picked up on waivers, Montreal would have been in a really tight spot. So I was kind of surprised the timing of it all. Um, I'm surprised that they haven't made a move to try and bring in a more established backup goaltender. Because as coach pointed out, Dobesh being here to play, once a week or even less is not ideal. And it's not, I don't think, what the organization wants from him, nor is it what they want for Laval, right? They want, consistency and a steady goaltender in Laval. So those are my comments on it. I mean, I'm happy that he is still in the organization. I'm happy that he wasn't picked up on waivers. I'm surprised he wasn't. But more than anything, I was just really surprised, that they didn't do it sooner or that they didn't wait a little bit longer until they had a more established backup goalie ready to go. I was surprised about that. And just one more thing. Have we officially heard that he has reported to Laval? I haven't seen anything official online. Um, I know that
I
he's
believe
been
he
he's been
has.
assigned there, but have you reported though?
I believe he has. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
I,
I
I
can
I
check
just
on
haven't
that
seen
later.
anything.
Yeah, I'll check on that later. But I thought I heard that he had reported.
Yeah, I mean I can check on it too. It's just I looked at the Laval website and their social media, and there's no sort of Caden Primo was in practice today, or here's a picture of Caden Primo coming. I just again timing still strikes me as weird, and again maybe this is the conspiracy theorist in me. I feel like there might still be something weird going on, but again, I'm not saying I think there is. I'm just saying that I'm not completely convinced just yet.
Yeah.
Just to confirm, like Primo, I don't think he have a 1 week contract, so he's not going to leave almost like $1 million on the table to get only 85,000. Now, Laval just came back with a bad weekend, so they're going to hold in. I don't think they play until Friday. I could be wrong. Did not check the schedule honestly, but that would
That's
give him
right.
a bit.
Friday.
He's not traveling from Montreal to go to Belleville or to go to Syracuse, right? He just crossed the bridge. He's already in Laval, so it's not like about is changing his life. His friend, but we'll see what happening about that. On that one over there. We're going to talk about Jonathan Taze a little bit later, Martin. If the situation happening. Honestly, guys, two things tonight. We're going to talk about this. Is honestly the perfect weekend for the Montreal Canadiens. What a great weekend. No doubt. Only maybe Luc Lafortune could call that Montreal will win both games, but other affect him. Nobody then it will call that one. I don't think we heard that one. They're going to win both games. But what a great weekend for the Montreal Canadiens, honestly. And they beat the Fleur Panthers 4-0, and they beat the Tampa Bay Lightning by the score 5-2. The goal 4-9, the goal again 2. The PK was excellent, 4-4. Obviously, power play was 0-3. When you look about this, I'm a little bit surprised. Not many penalties, only 7 minor penalties in 2 games. This was a bit, I don't know. Maybe the referee eat too much tortillas during the weekend, during the week. They get maybe the whistle in their pocket, but not many things about that. It was not physical. The number they hit, the both game was really low. But Jake Evans, consistent performance, scored 2 goals with a 5 straight game with 1 goal. Kirby Dach scored 2 goals against Fleur Panthers. Alex Newhook, 3 points on the weekend, 1 goal, 2 assists. Dobes got his first shootout with the Montreal Canadiens during his first game. This is the first goalie since Ian Danis in 2005 did it. Montreal shot 37 shots against Tampa Bay Lightning. This is the highest number of the shot this season with Montreal. This is the first time they score 4 goals a plus and the streak of 4 games. Never happened before that since 1997. It's like what? 27 years?
7 years ago, yeah.
They never score 4 goals straight. Like 4 goals, 5 goals, 6 goals, and 4 games straight. I look around and I stop at 2012 and then never happening after that anyway. So I check every year. And that year, 1997, I watched they have 6 games with 4 goalie plus. 7, I apologize, 7 games with 4 goalie plus and a stretch. This is the last time they accomplished this under since 1997. So just give you an idea how they work for the Montreal for that one. And then there was a double win in Florida, back-to-back game on the road. It was since 2009. And finally, it was the first win when Montreal Canadiens and Sunrise, the home of the Panthers, since December 28, 2018. So, I give you a bit more happening for the Montreal Canadiens on the weekend. It was a successful weekend. You know what happening. So I want to let the Enortap start and Devin pick up everything about that. And then we're going to, review both games. So let's start with the Enortap. What was the most impressive for you? What stood out or whatever it is? Pay your attention during the 2 games of the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, there were a couple things, and for me, it was really the way they played as a team. Like they were able in the last couple games roll out their 4 lines out there, and really it was good to finally see that second line sort of have a bit of a jump to them, and it converted to some points in the last game against Tampa Bay. So that hopefully will do wonders for their confidence, and it's much needed, because if you don't get that secondary scoring from your second line, it's hard to win games, and it's hard to get those 4 goals per game plus that you spoke of, Coach. Again, the bottom 2 lines have been phenomenal all year long for me. Like they continue to have consistency in their play. They're scoring. They're very opportunistic. They make it very difficult on opposing teams to sort of bring up the puck up the ice. They're in your face right away. They've got good active sticks all the time, and it looks like there's very good chemistry on both those 2 lines, especially the 4th line in my eyes. They sort of know where each other's going to be. I mean, if you look at that Evans goal that he scored against Tampa Bay, what a beautiful assist from Heineman. Sort of used his body and then one-handedly made that beautiful pass to Evans, and Evans capitalized. Just a piece of work there. Fantastic. And they're as long as you're doing that, you're committed to team play, you're going to be hard to beat on a night-to-night basis. And that's what I think growth is, development is all about, right? I sent you guys today that quote from Alex Carrier about how he feels being over here and how he's compared himself to when he was on Nashville. And he says, here, everybody's got each other's backs. They're going out there and they're giving just, they're playing to the best of their ability, and that's all you can ask for on a nightly basis, right? You never want to leave the table sort of anticipating and wondering, did I give my best tonight? Like they're leaving it on the table and they're going all out. So for me, it's been very positive for what I've seen over the last 6-7 games. I know that Columbus game was a bit of a blip, but hopefully they can carry it through, because they're going to have a very tough January.
David?
I mean, I agree with all of that. For me, it's not just one thing. It's we've talked about it all along. Like, they've played good games the first 35 games of the year. It's when they start doing it on a more regular basis. It's when they start, getting some consistency in their game, when they start doing it in back-to-back nights, when they start doing it against the good teams. And so it's not just like they have one good game and then they have a stinker, or they play 2 really good periods and then they allow 5 goals in the third period or something like that. These are all of the things that are starting to develop, like the things that we've been talking about. I find myself very often on social media and talking to people, telling people just to be patient and to wait. It's coming and things are going to get better. And there are little signs here and there that things are improving. And just look for this thing and look for that thing, and when they start doing this, that'll mean that they're doing better. And the big thing, the last thing to really come is the consistency and doing it on a regular basis, so that playing the way they've played in the last few games becomes their normal and not their exception.
Yeah.
So that's kind
Good
of
point.
where I am with it. Like, they're playing, and again, keep in mind that there's going to be backward steps, right? They're not going to play this way every game for the rest of the year. There's going to be points that later in this year where we're frustrated with them, or we say, oh, they've taken a step backwards, or they're not playing as consistent as they were in January, or when, do you remember when they were in Florida and they did so well? Now they're not playing that way anymore. But it's heartening, I think, to see Kirby Dach. It's heartening to see Alex Newhook get some results. Patrick Laine looked really good, on 5-on-5 as well. The first line realistically didn't have to do a whole lot in those 2 games in Florida, right? They were able to succeed without, massive offensive contribution from Suzuki, Caulfield, and Slavkovsky. They got obviously, the fourth line looked spectacular. The second line looked a lot better. So that's what you look for in a team, is that they get contributions from different places on different nights, and they start to be more consistent with their effort. So it's been really fun to watch for me. And obviously, Dobes is going to be interesting to watch. But for me, it's Newhook and Dach that are, I think, Coach, you asked us last week what we wished for Christmas, and for me, it was just for Kirby Dach to get back to where he's playing the way he feels comfortable playing. And again, I'm not saying that he's there. I don't know that he is there, but I think he took a big step in that direction in the last 2 games.
Guys, I have to wait. I think he's going to be fine, but just again, he got hit badly. I think by Kachuk, but he looked like he's stand up now.
Shesterkin.
Yeah, just a
Yeah, he doesn't look good.
Let's see the replay there. Oh man, Bennett got on the goalie, but he was hit by the Rangers.
Lindgren hit him. Yeah.
So looked like he's fine. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah. A lot of good comments about that. Honestly, for both of you, it's hard to add more about this. Other fact I would say to you, the 4 line scored 25 goals this season. That's the number 1 in NHL this year. This is a great point about for the Montreal Canadiens on the bottom 6, maybe the top 3 team in NHL. For the bottom 6, they are solid there. They're looking great. So I think overall this weekend, for me, we someone comment about, I did a research after the last 20 games before the game against Tampa Bay Lightning, and if you look about the first 15 game prior to that compared to the last 20 game, it's a black and white, right? So something changed, and I think the beginning of the season, the fact the training camp, it was not appropriate. It take a little bit time to the players, to set up their chemistry together. And most of the time, they got very bad game, the first 15 game, like 7-1, 7-2, 8-2. The last 20, the game against Pittsburgh is against Pittsburgh. They gave 9 goals in the other game. I think was 8. Other 2 game, I think Montreal did a good job. I think we have to give credit for the team, their effort. They are consistency more, and they compete more, and they have now a really 4 line play well. I think this weekend, the last couple of games, the second line get better as a chemistry together, and it's may not reflect with goal with Patrick Laine, but this weekend we get 3 goals from Dach and Newhook. That's helped the Montreal Canadiens. When you don't have no second line, it's difficult. That make Montreal Canadiens now to make some wave. When I said that, first line, second line, third line, 4 line, and Martin Saint-Louis right now, with a 3 pairing, they have a defenseman. You don't worry about who is on the ice when you're on the road, right? You have to match up sometime. But now, right now, he said, you know what? Jake Evans line or Dach line or Ziski line, the time management or the 2 for the 4 line guys between 13 minutes lower, and the highest was 18 minutes. This is what a team is solid in NHL need to do. And I think this we have to give credit for at least the bounce back of the Montreal Canadiens for the last a couple of games. And for us, it's more fun to watch. More positive. Defense more excited. And for me, losing, winning, of course, we want to win, right? But at least they compete. And I think that I said to you yesterday, guys, Tampa Bay, I know at some point was Montreal lead by 2 goals. Tampa tried to come back, and the Montreal struggled at some point. Then the momentum shift, but after that, Montreal picked up the game. But if it was only 1 point on the road and they lose 3-2 yesterday, who cares? The Rangers tied the game 3-3.
Yeah. Yep, 3-3.
So at the end of the day, it's more fun right now to see the Montreal Canadiens, and it's not going to be easy. And that's the subject of the night when I said it's going to be, Montreal and the mix. But at the end of the day, was a great weekend. That's remind me a lot what happening in on the playoff when they had that race all the way to the Stanley Cup. So that's the first time since that. It's fun to watch in the Montreal Canadiens. The record is 5-1-0, and the last 6 games they have a solid month of December, guys. I have that one over there. Let me see. Here we go. 8-5-0.
Another
16 points.
Another encouraging thing for me. Sorry.
What?
Sorry. Another really encouraging thing for me too was the way they dealt with the adversity of the Primo situation. Like in the past, that would have really bothered them, right? They would have had a hard time dealing with that. So, anyways, I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah. And then the goal force 44. 16-point guys that put them, I think, is 8 or 14 with most point in NHL. 44 goal, they put them, I think, 8 in the NHL most goals during the month of December. At French plus 6. At some point, I think there was minus 29, if I can recall it, in our tap. There are 6 in the division, 12 in the conference, 33 in the sending. This is the kind of number we never see for the Montreal Canadiens in the last couple of years. So, yes, I'm always not high me on the good stretch. I'm not low on the bad stretch. So you're not going to tell me right now, oh my God, no, I'm really low. But it's the number are the facts. I always said to everybody, the number are the facts. Or every time I make an opinion, and that one at that moment, this is the best number of the Montreal Canadiens in the last couple of years. And we have a collision from the bench, Bennett. Anyway, so that's happening with Montreal again. So I don't know if you want to talk about the month. We're going to talk about the month, the December in our tap, and then we're going to do the play of the game, the weekend, everything after that.
Yeah, you recall, Coach, at the beginning of December, I said it would be a very important month for Montreal, and to come out of this 8-5, I think is a good progress. Exactly. I mean, I probably hoped they'd get this, but realistically, I thought maybe 500 would have been a little bit more realistic in terms of what we were seeing prior to that. So again, it all speaks to coming together as a team, staying healthy. That's been critical. They haven't had, knock on wood, any major injuries to have to contend with, whereas in the past 3 years, they've been decimated with injuries, and that makes it difficult. So it's all about having patience. It's part of the process. Nothing will go linearly, but they're going to have a tough month in January. And you know what? These are the tests, right? Like along the way, like how do they perform? Before people were saying, well, they're playing a lower standing team, so of course they're going to win. Well, the last couple of games they played not only the Stanley Cup champions, but Stanley Cup champions of the last 4 years, 4 or 5 years, who won it twice in Tampa. So, they're playing very solid teams, and they're going to continue getting tested. And, I think they're up to the challenge as long as they stay healthy. That's going to be the key. Now, what happens when the trade deadline comes along? That might throw a bit of a kink into things, but because you always have to be thinking progressively in terms of where you want the team to be, not today, but tomorrow. So some hard decisions will have to be made at that point. I know we fall in love with some players sometimes, and you want to sign them up because they're performing well over a course of a period of time. But you have to think, and we're going to get on this topic a little bit later, you have to think what's best for the team in the long run. And we'll see how they fare in the month of January, and I'd say possibly even half of February.
Evan?
Yeah, I think those numbers are even more impressive when you consider that there's a 9-2 loss in the mix there too, right? Again, I get that you can't just ignore a game, but those numbers, if you take those numbers out of there, those numbers are even, a lot more impressive. So, like Coach, I mean, it's nice to see. I think we all three of us on the panel here knew that they were capable of this, and that it was going to sort of show itself eventually. I don't know that we thought it was going to show itself like this, as you know, as soon as this. But yeah, it's been really fun to watch, and they're playing up to their abilities. They're when's the last time we saw the Canadians with a positive goal differential? Like it just didn't happen. Enortap, you know that when I do my lives, I do my report card, and we talk about, allowing 3 or 4 goals per game and scoring 3 or more goals per game as being sort of a standard that you have to meet if you want to be a playoff team in the NHL. And they haven't closed that in October, November, and now they're sort of playing that kind of hockey. Again, I don't expect to see them stay at this level for the rest of the year. I mean, they could, but again, I don't expect it. But for now, they're playing good hockey and they're showing what they're able to do. And again, it's just, it's a matter of being able to do it more consistently. So I look forward to that. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely about that. I know some people say they face the 2 goalies back up, right? They use Spencer Knight and Johansson, but still, a win is a win. And I think for me, like Martin Saint-Louis said a couple of weeks ago, and I really believe this is what they focus really. It's about how to learn to win game. This is the most important things. And at the end of the day, that's why. And I like the fact, like, they can keep the lead at during the third period, whatever the score is by 1 goal. They don't give a lot space on the ice. The shootout guys, I know what Dobes did, but this was almost like not a perfect game, but that's what Martin said we looking for his players as a group of 5 all the time on the ice. And the transformation came with fun things in the roster. We're going to talk about this in the next couple of minutes, but it's fun to watch. It's excited to watch, and we'll see what happening. It's show on the viewers on my channel. I think I hit 4,000 result of the viewers watched the game yesterday, so that's a good one. Whatsoever, guys, I don't know what's going on. I'm losing subscriber. YouTube channel is really strange. I talked to them right now. I'm losing over 100 subscribers the last 9 days. That's crazy to do that, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain about that. Justin Framboise, welcome back. Jimbo is in the house. Nicolas de Gobi, welcome. Many of you, welcome back. Don't forget, please, to click on the like. We try to get 50 likes tonight, like we do at the end of the recap game, whatever is 1 game or 2 game or 3 game. We do the stood out, the obscure, and at the office. We're going to focusing on the both game, if you don't mind. And one, David, you ready to go? Just let us know. Going to, not a problem. We understand the problem you have with your voice, so I don't said you have to, but when you feel it, you feel to go, just let us know. That'd be all good. So stood out in our top, obscure, and at the office.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots to select here for the stood out, because as we were mentioning earlier, there's a number of players that have shown some resilience and have continued to be consistent. Mm-hmm. But I got to tip my hat to Jake Evans. I think especially in these 2 games, he's really been solid for the team. He's if you look at his last 6 games, actually, he's had 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points. He's won, I think, 58% of his faceoffs. He's killed penalties effectively. His plus minus, I think, is around plus 9 or 10 over the course of those 6 games. So to me, he really stands out. He's been the leader, and you can see he's got this confidence about him now that he can take on any kind of situation that he's put into. Obscure, again, a couple here, and I'll definitely leave. I'll leave Devin with one of the more obvious ones, but I'm going to give it to Dobes, because let's face it, I know it was 1 game, but he was put in a very difficult situation, being called up from Laval and coming up to the pros and playing his first game, and not only ended up playing well, but also spun a shutout, and you could see the smile on his face. It just, the entire team was there. And did you notice who the player was that went all the way at the other end of the ice to pick up the puck and bring it back to Dobes? It was Gallagher. I mean, there's the sign of a true leader and a guy that stands up for his team. But I'll give the obscure to Dobes for that. And at the office, it's I'd say it's a little bit more difficult this time around to go with somebody. But let me think.
Just
Maybe
PLW said Gallagher at the office.
Gallagher at the office. Well, he hasn't played bad. He hasn't played bad in my eyes. But I've always touted for Slavkovsky. I think he's improved a little bit. But if you just consider these two last games, maybe he just needs a little bit more refresher. I'm finding that the way he's skating, his stance is very wide. And a lot of times you see him going back to some habits that he had a couple years ago where he has one hand on the stick a lot of times. And what that causes him to do is it's easy to lose your balance, for number one. Number two, it also prevents you from getting those spurts of skating power to come out when you have a wide stance and you're trying to get into tough areas and beat your player to it. So, he just needs a few reminders in terms of little objectives that he can easily obtain, but he just needs to be reminded. So I'm gonna put him at the office for these two games.
All right, Evan.
All right. Maybe I'll do this, and then I think I might end it after this, guys, just because I don't feel like I should push it too hard here if I don't have to. So I'll start backwards, and I'll start with at the office. And I think I'll start by saying I don't think there's anybody on the team that really deserves to go to the office. And I think that's a sign that they're playing really, really well because, frankly, throughout the year so far, at the office has, usually been the easiest one to pick. And this week it's the hardest one to pick, which I think is a good sign. Slavkovsky, I think, is a reasonable choice, not because I think he deserves to go to the office, but if we're looking at a guy who is not performing quite at the level that we would hope that he would, or that we would expect him to, certainly from a production point of view, I think that Slavkovsky is probably still that guy. I don't know that Dach and Newhook are out of the proverbial doghouse yet. Not that I put them there, but they could maybe use some consideration there as well. But again, I think it's really hard to pick somebody that you would say that needs to go to the office. For stood out for me, I go with Cole Caulfield. I mean, obviously Jake Evans is the obvious choice, and you've already chosen him, Enortap. I'm not picking Caulfield, because I don't think that Evans deserves it, but I just find that Caulfield's game, the evolution of Caulfield's game this year has been unbelievable. Like, he just looks like a different hockey player now. Like his skating, his speed, like he's not just a goal scorer anymore. Not a guy who posts up and waits for a one-timer. He's out, he's retrieving pucks on the boards. He's using his speed on offense and defense. He's a jitterbug out there. Like, his game looks like what you want Newhook's game to look like. Right? Like, he's got Newhook type speed out there. Like, just again, they're totally different players, and he's obviously a better player than Newhook, but like, he just looks like a different hockey player. And the way that he worked on his game the last two seasons and sort of put his goal scoring on the back burner a little bit while he improved other aspects of his game. And now he's able to take all of those puzzle pieces and put them together. I thought he just makes the players on the ice around him so much better. And it's not just about himself anymore. For obscure, I'm going to say Emil Heineman. He's just been like, again, I think he's found his role. He's found his niche. He's on that fourth line. I don't think it's a coincidence that Armia and Evans are doing well. with him on their line. I think he's a spectacular player both ways. I didn't think, honestly, he had that defensive game in him at the beginning of the season. When he was on the team, I sort of said, well, he's got to be a top 6 guy because he doesn't have the skill set to be a bottom 6 guy. And I was completely wrong. He does have that skill set. Like, he's a good forechecker. He plays the body as well as anybody on the team. He's not afraid to go into dirty areas. He wins battles on the boards. He makes room for Jake Evans and for Yoel Armia. He does all that stuff. I think he's been, I just think he's been special. And, much like Jake Evans, I could see him part of the fourth line on this team for a really, really long time. I could, like, a fourth line of Evans, Heineman, and Beck. If you can get them in under the right, salaries, is something that you could have for the next 5 or 6 years. And I think you'd be in. Again, Beck still needs to prove himself at the NHL level. But no, I've been really impressed with Heineman. I'll be honest with you, I was not a Heineman fan coming into this season. I really wasn't. I thought that despite Joshua Roy struggling in the preseason, I thought that he probably deserved a shot, and Heineman has proven me completely wrong. And this week in particular, I think his contributions have been very important to the team.
Uh-oh. Gary Bettman.
I thought my phone was ringing.
Enortap, ambulance coming to pick up David.
I'll sign off, guys.
He's struggling.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I thought I'd give it a shot. It didn't work, but
we appreciate it, Devin.
Well, I'll be good to go. I'll be good to go soon. And thanks for having me, and enjoy the rest of the show, guys.
Thank you, David. Appreciate
that. All the best. All the best.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Well. Good job. It was David, guys, and the check on that one guy. Well, he's really struggling, honestly. It's more worse what I was thought about this will be the best for him, honestly, to get out. We're going to delete one square, but we're going to stay there. Look, it's hard to get only one stood out with a game like the weekend, honestly, like that. You can go many directions. It's about different opinion or the preference, what you believe on that one. So I think stood out for me is honestly, you have too many players I have to step up. Kirby Dach the first night, I think he stepped up a lot during that game. Dobes have a shootout. And the second game, honestly, the 4 line was again the best line on the ice for the Montreal game. So I'm not going to get one particular player. The obscure, this is very interesting. I'm going to go maybe surprise everybody, but I'm going with Josh Anderson. And he had no point. Anderson, he did not have a great opportunity to put the puck in the net, but the way he played, the physicality he bring on the ice, the forward-checking guys he bring on the ice is one of them. I'm going to surprise with another one there. You maybe not like my answer. Christian Dvorak have maybe his best weekend this year behind that. And we don't know too much about him. He's really more quiet, Mr. Enortap, as an obscure, because the name is not there also. But Kaden Cooley find really what he looked like when they draft him. Perfect weekend for Cooley again. And the fact he now play with Carrier, helping him. And the fact he play on the left side, Mr. Enortap, is helping more. And they are the shutdown of the opening team, the best line, So, Kaden Cooley. At the office, Mr. Enortap, obviously, we're going to bring the full team. But we're going to have a party, Mr. Enortap. The Martin St. Louis is going to put a couple of bottles of whiskey on the table, and they're going to celebrate this as the end of the year 2024. They're going to be in Vegas, Mr. Enortap. Imagine if they beat the Vegas, the party going to do on the table of the Planet Hollywood after the game at Mr. Enortap.
That would be good. That would be great.
I don't think so. They're going to use some cheese, Mr. Enortap. They're going to upgrade. Is it on the next play, the plate, Mr. Enortap, when they're going to go out, get out if they beat the? Honestly, the Vegas Golden Knights. The
Vegas.
game will be at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Guys, join us live if you want to talk about Montreal Canadiens. And of course, guys, a lot of conversations going on. Also, going to continue, Mr. Tap, what's going on with the Montreal Canadiens. And the Montreal, we just talk about this. They are a record 8-5-0 in the last 13 games. This is the month of the December. They have one more game to go. It would be the best man under Martin St. Louis on number of the point and the win, by the way. And what makes it fun in December, I believe, is Patrick Laine and Alexandre Carrier. I would like to hear from you the impact, what happening for the Montreal Canadiens when they got Patrick back in the lineup, and then when they got now Alexandre Carrier as a defenseman. Another big trade for Ken Hughes for Justin Barron. So I want to hear from you what make their impact, make the team better overall.
Well, Coach, you remember when they first got Laney just before the season started? I mean, the buzz in the city, and you can tell even with the players themselves, it was at an all-time high in the sense that they knew they got a player that is a proven winner. He's definitely an elite scorer in the NHL. As a matter of fact, I would put him probably in the top, I'd say 4, possibly 5 at the worst case scenario in terms of his shot from the circle, especially on power plays. And then when he got injured, you could see it just totally deflated the team and contributed to the kind of start that they had. And it wasn't until he came back and yes, he started to score on the power play. You could tell he wasn't 100% yet game shape ready, and by that I don't mean that he wasn't physically ready. It's just that it takes time from an injury like that. It had been quite a number of days that he had been out. If you go back to, I think it was February of last year that he hadn't played hockey. So getting him back and then, him performing as he did, especially on the power play, is sort of just, it really gave the players that the confidence that they needed. It sort of brought their game up to the higher level as well. His 5-on-5 has improved lately, and you can tell he's skating much better. He's creating opportunities. I think he was the catalyst of that second line looking much better in the last 2 games, especially the game against Tampa. He would frequently beat players to the puck. He would make solid passes. He wouldn't get beat often at all. And just I thought he was a voice of experience. You saw him even on a couple of power plays. He had a small team huddle there with Cole Caulfield, and Hudson was in the middle of it, and you can tell, like, as much as we think it's Hudson being the quarterback, and he is from a defensive point of view on the power play, it's really Laney that they try to center everything around. And what that's going to do is it's going to open some ice up for other guys like Suzuki and obviously Caulfield. Carrier, I think we hit the nail on the head earlier when we said that having him come in as a relatively experienced, solid middle pairing kind of defenseman, a guy that won't hurt you defensively, and also, he's very good at clearing the puck out of his own zone. If you look at the 5 games that he's been with us, he's gotten 4 points. He's I think at a +3 or 4. He's played an average of 19 minutes per game, and that's really allowed Gooley to flourish on his strong side, which is the left side, and that's why we're seeing a much better balance with the pairings on the defense now as we're seeing it. So you're right. 2 guys that have experience. They've been there before, and are both extremely happy to be in Montreal. So that obviously is going to have an impact on the entire team.
Yeah, sorry about that. A lot of conversation going on with the chat, so I'm left and right. But some people comments about the team play more together. Of course, I think add two players like them, that increasing the skill, right? The talent on
Yeah,
inside the team. You can see, first of all, Patrick Laine, how good he is, right? Maybe one of the top, he is the top, one of the top best wrist shot or accuracy is good for him. Of course, he's slow. Of course, he need to recover. It would take time to be back in shape. Every time he's getting better and better. But to put him on the second line, but that satisfy the the four line for the Montreal Canadiens. They put the players on the right share. They don't have to bring another one from the bottom six. Example, try to make some, you know, try testing line. You know what I mean? Like Sakoski down, Sakoski up. You have different modification line to try to be the best line. And the fact now you have the 92 right there, the second line, that put everybody at the right share. They are not a perfect
exactly.
share yet, right? It's not a perfect share, but at least I gave a better chance for the Montreal to perform better on the forward. Same situation with Alexandre Carrier. Um, he stabilized more the defenseman. He put the first best decision is when they move Cooley from the right side to the left side, and they let
Yeah,
him all the time at that one over there. The second thing before Carrier, when they put Savard and Jekai together, that satisfied the second pairing example. And then with one Carrier pop up, now he's going to be with Cooley. That stabilized the three pairing together. I'm still not sure about Madison and Hudson together, but whatever they're not strong on the defensive side, they carry on the puck so many times, and they sometimes the fact they recover the puck, on the corner, because they're how skilled they was, right? The skating is so good, they can get out better. But it's not a perfect pairing you want to get on the top two pairing. But it is what it is. But we that's what that Carrier impact overall for the Montreal game. And finally, the last one. I know it's only one game, but finally they move Primo out and they bring Dobes. And Dobes was solid. Again, the Montreal was played more together in the last 20 and 15 game, and that's the reason December is so positive and the weekend is perfect because Montreal Canadiens, honestly, they find a way to play as a team from the first minute to the 60 minute. And it's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. But what
no,
a
baby
contrast,
steps.
Mr. Enortap, today compare October
Yeah,
and the middle of November. And we have to
I
give
would say,
credit for the staff. We have to give credit for the players. And it's fun to watch. The power play, Mr. Enortap, today compared to 2 months ago, it's whatever coffee or a couple of goals in power play. The fact Lenny is there and the fact he put Leinartson. And they did it perfectly the right way. You cannot put
yeah,
Leinartson right away at the beginning of the season. They have to respect the
yeah,
players. Madison, it will go by organically. Organic?
organically. Yeah,
Yeah.
it happened organically. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So this is my reflect of that December for the two player and the roster.
Yeah, and I would say, Coach, really that game against who was it, Pittsburgh, that they lost 9-2. I think that was really the turning point because ever since that game, which maybe you could call it reaching rock bottom, I think they've come out in a much more consistent manner, and they're playing more with a sense of, I don't know if the word is pride, but the efforts there on everybody really is chipping in and just doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? Like they're fulfilling their role. And since that loss to Pittsburgh, I know they lost another game to Winnipeg. I think it was 4-2, but
Yep.
it was a well played game. And the Columbus game, I mean, it was the third game and fourth nights, and there was that whole Laney situation involved as well. So it's not that they played poorly. I would say they probably, at the very least, deserved a point out of that game, but it didn't happen. But at least you're seeing that the effort's there, and they're playing as if every game matters.
You're absolutely about that. And again, sometimes it's chemistry, right?
Yeah,
It's chemistry. That's the reason why Evans, Armia, and Eneman And I never mentioned the name Eneman tonight. What a play he did yesterday
Yeah,
on the goal.
amazing.
Yes. So a lot of great comments in the chat, by the way. And I like its friend opinion. And that's all about that for the Montreal Canadiens in December. But it's on top. I know people want to talk about the mix, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet because I want to talk about this because the people, it was a question I put on my X account. My X
Yeah.
account got beat like it was like crazy for about the last 10 hours, maybe a little bit 15 hours. But I put the fact like, what do you do with Jake Evans? And I did not ask them, like, I did not give my opinion. I just asked them about if you have to resign Jake Evans, what would be your extension? Or if you trade him or not, what would be his value in return? So tonight, I go a little bit this way. What we do with Jake Evans? You trade him or you keep him? If you keep him, what would be the cost? Now, I get some stat for Jake Evans, guys. The last 13 games, this is the play 13 games so far in December. He has 12 points. He has 6 goals. He's a straight of 5 goals. And then he has 6 assists for 12 points, and it is at plus 8. He have also a 6 straight game with 1 point for the 4 line. And you can see that his role on the PK joined together. So I just want to share with you what's happening with Jake Evans. But what do you think will happen to Jake Evans? And now the chat want to hear that because they talk about this in the last 35 minutes.
Yeah, it's a touchy one, Coach. I've mentioned on numerous occasions that there's going to come times when hard decisions are going to have to be made, whether it's in a trade or whether it's in, re-signing a player, whatever the case might be. Now, in Evan's case, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like he's played 36 games this year. He's got 23 points. He averages over 15 minutes a game. You can tell he's extremely in tune with what's going on. He really leads that fourth line right now. His faceoff's gotten better, although last 3 or 4 games it's been just under 550%. But his confidence, to me, that's what really stands out. Like whether it's on the penalty kill, like he knows that I'm going to get to this puck, and he's gotten numerous opportunities on penalty kills to go in on odd man rushes or sometimes breakaways, and as you can see, he capitalizes. But you got to keep. I think it's very important. You got to keep things in perspective, and I hate to say it, but because you want him to do extremely well, and he has been this year. But I asked the question, Coach, is he sort of writing himself out of the market? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, is he overperforming to the point that it's going to be hard to re-sign him here in Montreal? That's my biggest worry, because I would personally love to have Jake Evans back, but I think the price and the term have to be reasonable. It has to fit in with what the overall plan for Montreal is. To sign anything ludicrous like 8 years would be a mistake unless he gives you an extremely, friendly home discount. And right now, I would say he's in the neighborhood of anywhere between, 3.2 to $4 million. If he goes beyond that, I really don't see Montreal signing him, and it really it hurts me to say that, but I think you can't fall in love with your players. I think you remember when our previous GM there, Mr. Bergevin, re-signed Gallagher, and he signed him to 8 years, and he gave him the ludicrous $6+ million contract at that time, and it was more based on what he had done in the past than what came ahead in the future in the last number of years. And I mean, this year we've seen him sort of return a little bit to normalcy and more in line with what he was before. But we saw last year and the year before, and I know there were injuries to consider, but he also had lost a lot of speed. His game had slowed down. His scoring had come down, and so it made it a bad contract. And that's what you don't want to lock yourself into, I think. So I don't know. I'll ask you first. Has Jake Evans sort of marketed himself out of Montreal by performing as well as he has this year?
Yeah, a lot of great comments about that. First of all, a lot of people in the chat. Some people expect more 4 million. Some said no, $4 million return that. Now, before I give an answer or before I give you a number return that, you know, Jake Evans. How many Jake Evans in NHL right now?
Not too many. I mean,
Not too many. We have
he's
him right now. He's inside
yeah.
of the building. We have him as a hockey player. Second thing, after the season, Jake Evans from the management and from the staff, why they put him in the lineup next year? Is it a third center or is it a fourth center?
And I think that's a big question, right? Because
This is the
all of a
reason,
sudden,
you know what I mean? This
if
is
he
where.
if he moves to the third line center, then you can justify, $4 million. But if he stays on the fourth line, I don't know. Again, I absolutely love Jake Evans. Please don't get me wrong, because I would love nothing more for him to return. It's just I I hope he's at the point that he loves being in Montreal so much that he's willing to say, you know what, I'll sign for a little bit longer, maybe 5 years, but and I'll give a home discount because I just love being here.
Now I would consist with that part there. We expect, and I don't see how you can keep it, but honestly, the Warek is out, right? I would be shocked if the Warek
Me
is
too.
back with Montreal again. So if Evans leaving and the Warwick leaving, now Montreal are looking and they have to figure out. I think the fourth center is not a problem next year. I think Kapanen, Beck, and they
Yeah.
are still rebuilding Mr. Top. They have to bring the new wave, right? The new prospect inside of that organization. They cannot wait 3 more years and then keep that. So I think they will move back. That will fix the four line in my opinion, as a position center or Kapanen. So they don't have to worry about that. They said that to reevaluate Dach, and honestly, I still believe they're going to continue to keep Dach at the same spot for 1 more year. I could be wrong.
No, he said
The
that.
solution, Mr.
He's just said
Natat,
that.
it could be that way. And I know the people are not going to like it. But if they believe Jake Evans is too expensive, and the market is not good, they have two solutions. They have to looking for a trade to find a third center in NHL. I'll not mention any name there, right? Or, and I think it would be better if Newhook move out of the top six to be on the bottom six. It's maybe not the right solution. He'd been there last year. He did very well in the last 15 games of the year. And I know Marco don't like it, but it could become the third center if they don't have any other option. I don't say this is the second option, third option. I'm thinking about when you can use Jeff Gordon, Martin St. Louis, and the staff. They have to go for through the every option about that. But at the end of the day, they have that player Jake Evans inside of the building right now. And I
Yeah.
think you have to go with the flow. Yes, he's looking good right now, guys. He have 23 points, I believe, this year. At 10 goals,
He's
13
got
assists. If I can
he's
recall,
got he's got 23 points, yeah.
right?
10
So
goals, 10 goals, 13 eassists, yeah.
at the end of the day, Mr. Antap, he never crossed the, I think, over 13 goals in 1 year. I could be wrong about that. Now I have to look
I
about
his
that.
highest his highest I think was 16, and I think it was in Laval, if I'm not mistaken. He's
So
never
at the end
scored
of the
more
day,
than
Mr.
16
Antap,
goals.
he's never been over 40 points, right? So as a third center, You have to go with the market. You have to go
Yeah.
with what's happening there. Always a team thinking you are free, it deserve more. Look about Chandler Stephenson. He got a $6.5 million this year, right? You always some player get more money. Yannick Gord, a couple years ago, he got a $5.5 million about his 2 winning Stanley Cup. Right now, the situation with Montreal Canadiens remind me a lot what happened with Lekonen. They have Lekonen inside the building. They have Philippe Dano inside the building, and they let them go for many reasons. I don't want to blame anybody, everything like that. So they have to figure out the value exactly of Jake Evans, the role of Jake Evans, and then what are the options if Jake Evans leave the building. It cannot play Enortap with Beck and Kapanen as a centerman and number 4. They're going to be under regression. When I said that, they're looking now to get better every year. You cannot go with a 2 center at that level. If it was Enortap, year number 1 of the building, or year number 2,
Yeah, it makes more sense.
It makes more sense. But what they are right now, you cannot go that way. So they will maybe pay him a little bit more. But they know what they get with Jake Evans. He is la fleur de l'âge in French. He is on his best year of the highest pick, usually is at 27, 28, 29. He's right there right now. You're not going to get more for Jake Evans, in my opinion. He's his best stretch of his life or as a hockey player right now. Perfect,
Exactly.
great, everything like that. But we still to recognize he's a 7-1 pick. He's not going to be at the top 6. He'll be at bottom 6 right there. And the average best players in third line, example like Lundell, he got a contract at 22 years old at $5 million. It's not like Lundell.
Right.
His best time is really on the PK, right? He played good face-off man. Devarak got a contract at $4.5 million. This is his final year. This is his final chance to get the highest money. Can the team in NHL see him at $4.5 to $5 million? I don't know. Is the team give him a 5 year contract? Montreal is going to be out of that race, right? It's a bit like Marchessault. The window of use was 3 years with Marchessault. After that, he's out of the race. I see the same thing with Jake Evans. It's a short term. You can get a little bit more money. A middle term is going to get less money. And he's not going to be a long term with Montreal Canadiens. He's not going to get there with Montreal Canadiens.
No, I would be shocked if they gave him a 7-8 year contract. I would be extremely shocked. Like the maximum I could see is 4 years that they would give him.
Yeah.
And given that, if you had to go, knowing that he's going to probably be your number 3 center next year, if you had to go to $4 million, that's where you go. But anything beyond that, I think they're going to let him walk or trade him.
Now, I'm going to bring you another option. Again, you're not going to like me tonight because he never gave me the answer for the money. I will give you another option, Mr. Enortap. Next year, he's going to be your 3rd center, right? Montreal is going to add, normally they should add Demidov with the team next season. Maybe another rookie. And the 2 years after that, I think Rebacker, Fowler are going to join the Montreal Canadiens. So Montreal Canadiens are going to get better. We don't talk about Michael Edge yet. But when Michael Edge will be there, Mr. Enortap, Jake Evans, at year number 3 of his contract of 4 years, which position is going to be on your lineup? 4th center?
It's going to be center, yeah.
And now at the 4th center, you still have Owen Beck, Kapanen, Michael Edge at the bottom 6, and you have to pay a center at $4 million at that time. My point behind that is I'll be shocked if Montreal sign him a 4 year contract, an extra year of that. The window for me, the max, is 3 years. The 2 years is really the perfect contract, but he's not going to get him a Montreal for 2 years. So
no.
When I bring that, guys, is like this. I believe Ken Hughes get 3 years. He maybe slip at 4 million, 4.5. He maybe get there. because on the transition of the team. But it would never sign Jake Evans over that with a 4 years contract. I'll be shocked. Again, because what I just bring this the all this front option. And that's the reason I feel that way. I don't have the perfect contract. What if you want to get something for me is a 3 years at $4 million at $12 million Minnesota, I'm going to be fine. It would be on his final year contract. One of Montreal Canadiens are going to be the next level. It's going to be really, really good to be at the trade deadline. It's going to be at that moment 32 years old. He's going to have more experience. He's going to bring a lot of table too. I think that's what's happening about that for me. Again, guys, I've been wrong so many times, but I try to see how can you thinking the last couple of years, how he's negotiated contract with Enortap. If you are young, it give you a bit longer term. If you're older, it's not going to give you that term, I believe. So again, I could be wrong here, but I think that's what I see about the situation with Jake Evans. So I like the comments in the chat, guys, about that. A2, you go with 4 years. I don't like that. I don't like the 4 years. I think you struggle, you put your team backwards at the year number 3, 4 for me. Because imagine if Mike Edge is really good. And now in 2 years, he make the team. Where do you put him?
Well, that's not as much of a concern, Coach, because first of all, I think Michael Age he's probably going to go back to BU next year, and then he's going to probably have a year at Laval. So we're talking about the third year of this, let's say, 4-year Evans contract if it gets to 4 years. So it's a good transition for him. And I mean, you can always start Michael Age on the wing, and then eventually move him over to center because he's most definitely capable of being the centerman. As a matter of fact, that's I think his natural position. I've always maintained you can never have enough centermen on your team, even if they're playing on their offsides. It just serves the team so much better and gives you so much more depth, right? I don't think 4 years at $4 million is absurd, but anything beyond that it's tough. It's I'd love for him to come back, but you also have to look at the stats, and you have to look at how many times has Jake Evans done this in his career. You said it earlier, like what's his highest point production? I think 30, 35, 36, something like that. It's going to be hard to get him here for that length of time, and it really is really going to be in the hands of his agent and himself. If he's banking on 8 years, 7-8 years, because he's that's the way he wants to end off his career and maximize his return, then it more than likely won't be here in Montreal.
Yeah, and also we said I don't. People talk about the 4 years return of that. I said the 4 years for me, it's not about the money on the salary cap is on top. It's because the spot on the roster, right? Because in 2 years, remember, Carey Price is on the final year contract next year. And 2 years, Josh Anderson and Gallagher are on the final year contract. That's not what my point is not about the open more money. My point is open more spot. At that time of the time, now you're going to have regular player like a Beck, Kapanen, and Demidov inside of Montreal again. Without, I think at some point, Jake Evans is going to be on your 4 line and paid whatever the money is increasing. So the cap, the player of the money of the salary AAV is going increasing too. Behind that, Jake Evans on your 4 line at $4 million, it's a lot of money. If you have Jake Evans or your third line is on top at year number 3 and year number 4, we are not a good team.
If you have him on your third, you're saying?
At that time of in the next 4 years, right? Year number 3 and 4 today, if Jake Evans is your third center, we are in trouble. He's a winger or he play on your top 9. We're not a good team.
Yeah, I get your point. I can concur with that. I mean, sometimes it's just a matter of even being very creative in terms of how you structure this contract. I think that that's something that Hughes and Gordon will look into. You can make it front loaded, and that the third and fourth year when he probably slips to the fourth line center, it's not as onerous the amount that they have to pay off. Um, it's gonna be interesting. It's not an easy decision to make. Like I said, I think it's really in the hands of Evans and his agent in terms of what they're going to go with. But when you're talking, it's one thing, Coach. It's one thing to take your top two lines, players that are on your top two lines, and pay them the money that obviously you need to in order to follow the market and also have them for the long stretch in your future. And that's what we've seen with Suzuki, and we've seen with Caulfield, we've seen with Slavkovsky. We will more than likely see it with Hudson. Like that goes without say. You have to do that kind of stuff. When you're talking about your bottom two lines, it's a little bit different, right? You have to really match it up against, where the team is headed. Will that contract be worth it in 3 or 4 years? Who knows?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We can talk about the trade value. We're going to come back with Jake Evans anyway for the next couple of shows. So I want to finish this because it was the subject of the night. And then we're going to move on with other things. Do you believe, Mr. Tap, Montreal Canadiens are in the mix? Now, they are 5 points behind Ottawa. Um, and the mix, guy, is an important game they have to play after the trade deadline. That's what I see in the mix. But everything could happen. Here, the schedule, Mr. Tap, the next couple of games. Vegas, Chicago, Colorado, Vancouver, Washington, Dallas 2 times, Utah, Toronto, New Jersey, Winnipeg, Minnesota, Detroit Rangers. This is and the last game in December and the January month. If you
And
take
you, and you, for-
Rangers
you forgot Tampa Bay too, Coach.
and
Tampa
Tampa
Bay's in
Bay,
there too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you think about that, um, Chicago, it's really the easy team to beat, and Detroit
Detroit.
right there, right?
Yeah.
Now the
The
Rangers
Rangers.
is the same caliber like Montreal, right? But I would say
Yeah.
Detroit is Chicago. The rest, guy, it's a lot of big team there. Said that, um, this is going to be hard, and I don't check about home game or on the road right there. But at the end of the day, are you consider the Montreal Canadiens and the mix at the beginning of February?
I mean, I don't want to use that word in the mix. Like I still maintain that for whatever progression and development we're seeing this year, and more so in the last 20 games. I think you put up, was it in one of your videos or one of the emails that you sent me where you showed Montreal's record over the last 20 games, and they've
Yeah.
been actually very, very good. So if they continue that pace, then they'll be there. But I don't see them making the playoffs, because before you make the playoffs, you have to ask yourself who's coming out of the playoffs, right? And right now, the team that looks like they're the odd man out is the New York Rangers, unless they can really turn things around over the next 3 months or so. And that's what's created an opening. And that's why we see now Ottawa's in that last wild card spot, and possibly Pittsburgh that's knocking on the door there as well. But I don't see teams like Columbus. I don't see teams like Philadelphia, the Islanders. Who else is there? Detroit. Um, I think I mentioned Philadelphia. I mean, Buffalo's an enigma to me, but I don't see them either. It's hard for those teams. Like they will be in their own little mix, but it's not a mix to make it towards the playoffs. That's my take on that. And like you said, look at that. And you could have gone into February as well, because February is not an easy month as well. Those are tough games. I'm very pleased if they can pull off, the odd point here and there, the odd victory here and there. And I think they will, because I'm seeing that improvement in their overall play. But when you're looking at, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games, I don't see 7-7 right there. I would love to, but I just don't see it because of the quality of teams. And they're all teams that are going to be vying for or are in a playoff spot and are looking to place themselves as best as they can within their own divisions, so that they have home ice advantage. So they're not going to be easy games after the All-Star break. You see teams really closing things down and playing solid defensive team play, because in the end, that's what wins you the cup in my eyes. So it's going to be hard. I don't see them making the playoffs this year, but I think it's a good move towards where they're going to eventually aspire to be next year.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people talk about fun thing. I think in the mix for me, in the mix is about 5 points during the season. So until the wild spot number 8, Mr. Enortap. If you see between 5, 6 points, you know, you in the mix, and that will important for the Montreal again for the progression. I
Yeah.
come back always with that. Montreal need to learn how to win game. This is the most important thing for the Montreal again. Learn how to win game. If they can stay there longer and longer and longer in the season, it's going to be a great year for the Montreal Canadiens. And not to give up and be eliminate of the race of the playoff and January like they did for the last couple of years. Does it make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. My only concern is the fact. Okay, I think they're within 5 points right now. Last time I checked, um, but will they maintain that? Because like I said, they have a tough schedule ahead of them. I think they're one of the top 10 in terms of strength of schedules against them. Number one, number two, what's going to happen at trade deadline time? Are we going to lose a player or two? I think the possibility of that is very high, and I'm thinking of guys like maybe Armia, Dvorak, Savard. Those are all possibilities that could be leaving, since Gordon doesn't like to lose players for nothing. So you could see that happening. And, whoever comes in to fill in those shoes, are they going to be able to maintain what's going on? Or are the young players that are coming within the organization themselves through Laval or what might be, and are they able to contribute at this early stage in their careers? So
Good
that's
point.
why it's hard. It's going to be hard to maintain the mix within 5 points.
Yeah, definitely. Now they play well right now. How they can consist this, I don't have no clue. And they can finish the next. I would say to you, if they can play for 500, that'd be excellent for Montreal Canadiens. It's so tight, and the wild card a little bit below. I believe it would be Montreal have a very good chance to be in the mix at some point. But again, that could change a lot of things during the time. We have a couple of things to talk about. I'm going to go with the clash, Mr. Tap, right away. And we're going to
Yeah.
remove Devin about this. The clash, guys, is about absolute or not allowed. It's been that way for many times. And I'm going to remove the two square, if you don't mind. And we're going to stay together on that one. And 5 questions for you, Mr. Tap. Agree or agree? Absolutely or not at all? For the people in the chat, we have a few people. Nicholas pop up. Welcome back, Nicholas. Good night, Mark Elliott. If you did not click on the likes, we will appreciate if you can do it. And the people are coming back late. We welcome all of you. Happy New Year for all of them. Great conversation in the chat. You guys make that night so much better about that. Luc Lafortune still at 88 points for the Montreal Canadiens. But this is a question of the first question, absolute and not allowed. Montreal Canadiens finish at the bottom 7. So 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, and 26.
Bottom 7. Well, right now,
23rd.
yeah, so they're in the bottom 10 right now. I would say not at all. I think at the beginning I kind of had predicted somewhere between 8 to 10 from the bottom. So I'm going to stick to that. So I'm going to say, do they finish in the bottom 7? Not at all.
It's really borderline, Mr. Enortap, right?
It is. It is.
It's really there. I still realistic. I will go to it. My always been that way, Mr. Enortap. I know the hype. I know the high. I know what's going on. Hey, people excited. There's the hope, the happiness, the joy,
Exactly.
right? But I would say to you, Mr. Enortap, absolutely. And they finish at the bottom 7. 6, 7 would be my expectation. They go with 8. Congratulations. But that will be that one. So I go with absolute for the bottom 7 for the Montreal Canadiens for that one. So again, thanks for all the like, Mr. Enortap. 65 so far. So very good night. About that. The next one, Mr. Enortap. Jake Evans, over 50 points at 18 goals. He has 10 goals, 13 assists, 23 game, 23 points, and 36 game.
Wow. That's a big number, 50. He's got what, 23 right now?
Yeah.
And they've played what, 35, 36 games? I think he's going to be slightly under. So I'm going to go with not at all. Just slightly under.
I go with that one again. I will say to you, not at all for Jake Evans. On that one, I'll go with you. I more approximately 43 point, 45 point maximum. And then the goal, it will be close to 18, but if you put both together, right, combined, that's the reason I go with not allowed on that one. Number 3 says that Jake Evans have more point than Lane Hudson, Mr. Enortap.
What's Hudson at now?
26 versus 23 for Evans.
Yeah, no, I think Hudson will outscore him just because he'll have more opportunities on the power play. He's on the PP1 now. I think he's starting to get involved more, even more so offensively. I know he's been emphasizing his defensive play as well, but I think this kid just is going to get stronger and stronger, and he seems to be in on almost every single goal that Montreal is involved in one way or another. So Evans with more points than Hudson, not at all.
Yeah. I will go with not allowed because Lane Hudson have more chance on power play.
Yeah.
So I think I will go with that one over there. And I think Evans right now is on his best stretch of his career. So I go with barely with Lane Hudson there. Next one, Mr. Enortap, we have 2 for you. Montreal finished below Detroit or Buffalo.
Not at all. No, I think Detroit is in a bit of difficult situation right now. We heard Yzerman the other day talk about the whole state of affairs with Detroit and where they're at and what's going on there. In their development, they've made some very calculated mistakes, I believe, and it's going to be very difficult for them this year to really start pouring it on here. Buffalo, I mean, they've been better the last 3-4 games, but I mean, we see a team here that really, to me, does not have an identity. I think that's their biggest issue right now. And they have very good talent on the team, but they haven't been able to put it together. They don't have that leader that can drag him, through the trenches and bring them to the next step. So they're not jumping over the hurdles that they need to, the obstacles that come their way, in order to be a team that's going to be in the playoffs this year. So I think Montreal finishes below. No, not at all.
So you put Montreal 6 in the division.
Yes.
Absolutely. Montreal is going to be below Detroit or the Buffalo Sabres.
Both of them or one of them?
One of them. Yeah, finish below Detroit or Buffalo Sabres.
Which one do you think?
This is a better. This is another difficult question about that one over there. It's a tough one.
It is. It is.
Because I would say that Buffalo, it all depends on UPL. And UPL have a really good second half of the season. I think UPL is the Buffalo. For Detroit, is a reverse where the goalies are not strong enough right now. And they are a fragile team right now with a new coach. So I'll be disaster if Detroit finish at the bottom. If both teams finish at the bottom behind Montreal, this is a disaster year for them.
Yeah, I mean, because when you consider that they started their whole rebuild
that's the reason process
in Montreal,
yeah,
it's a step backwards. But we do know from every single team that we've looked at over the years, Coach, that nothing is ever linearly. It doesn't go linearly, the development for teams. So this could just be, setback for both Detroit and Buffalo for the time being until they can, set the ship straight. But yeah, we'll see. I want to continue to have confidence that Montreal will be ahead of these two.
Good point. Let's move on, guys, for the last one. Amir Dvorak gone at the trade deadline.
Definitely one of them. I think Dvorak is gone for sure. Armia is an interesting one. Depends what he what he wants. I personally, if I have to go with something, I'll say absolutely. I think that they both might be gone just to sort of create opportunity for upcoming players. But if one of them had to return, I think it'll be Armia.
I'm laughing because Martin Saint-Louis said, PLW said, Martin Saint-Louis said, quote of the day is intelligence collective. And I respond to him, Mr. Enortap, he was talking about the AI, Martin Saint-Louis, artificial intelligence collective, PLW, about that one. Amir Dvorak gone at the trade deadline, Mr. Enortap. Dvorak is gone, honestly. Amir is a great question if he will be gone or not.
Yeah.
I should get another one, Mr. Enortap, because I'm talking about something else. But I understand your question. I will say to you, not at all. But I'm going to guess this question, guys, in the chat is not on the board because I just thinking about this, Mr. Enortap.
What's that?
Do you think Montreal Canadiens resign Amia for the upcoming year for a window of 2 years?
For how much?
He make by now $3.4 million. So I would say to you, they would offer him a $3 million for 2 years only.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them offering that. Question is, will he take it? 2 years
He's
32
years old, Mr. Enortap. Do you think someone will offer him a contract over $3 million?
No, but he might be able to get a 3 or 4 year contract that Montreal is not willing to give.
No, but
for
think
2 years,
about this.
For 2 years, I would do it.
If you get a contract, 3 years contract at $2.5 million, he's 32 years old. He's been with Montreal for many years. He's a great situation in Montreal right now. I think he become dad, if I can recall it, or he's already dad now. If he can get
Yeah.
it 2 years now, of course, if it's a Fleur Panthers get him that contract, he will be thinking to win the try to win the Stanley Cup. Other than that, Stanley Cup could change his ID. A 2 years contract at $6 million or a 3 years contract at 2.5. Sometimes we talk about 7.5, right? So we talk about only $1.5 million.
Yeah.
I think an Armia 2 years contract fit with the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, if it's 2 years, I don't see an issue with that. I think, I mean, even though he's not necessarily the most consistent when it comes to scoring, but that's been his calling card his whole life, right? Like he goes stretches of games where, yeah, he'll score for 7, 8 games, and then he'll go quiet 7 or 8 games. So, but you have to look at, what else does he bring to the table? It's not just always about accumulating points. It's about, does he make his line mates stronger? He's got the size. I mean, come playoff time, he's the kind of player that you do want in those kind of situations. He's been there before. He's got the experience. He gets hot at the right time. He could be a valuable, fourth liner that you use, right? It's for 2 years, I would do it. No problem.
And we're going to lose Mario Armia.
It's very possible.
Now, the key behind that, guys, we said, yes, I understand everybody don't, Armia move on. I can understand that. The key Montreal Canadiens next year, they're going to move up back.
Back, don't forget Kapanen. It will be
All right.
an issue as well.
Okay, so they move up back, example. They move Jake Evans on the third line.
Yeah.
Now they keep Eneman right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They will need, Mr. Enortap, a player with experience on the four line. The key behind that is Gallagher and Anderson have to go down to helping Owen Beck and Eneman. Or Eneman go on the third line with Jake Evans, and then you drop down Anderson or Gallagher. And then you have Owen Beck with Anderson, example. And you have another players right there. But again, it's a Kapanen, Beck, and Anderson with a Kapanen, Beck, everything like that. But the fact right now we just, improvise.
Yeah, you're
it's
looking
very
at how the
interesting
pieces
because
fit
they're
together.
going to figure out, Mr. Enortap, okay, are we let experience out right away or we keep Armia right there and Pessel be out? So they need a 13 forward to carry on that part over there. And I think that's what they're looking for, a player experience. I always said they always have those players inside of the building, Mr. Enortap. To get someone outside, you never know if that player. Armia love Montreal, Evan love Montreal, and they like to play under Martin St. Louis. Those factors could play. Again, and I said they have to keep Armia. But look what he played together, Joel Armia and Jake Evans on the PK as a duo. Again, a 2 years contract, I could consider that. I don't have the right answer right now. Something we can talk more in the future. But honestly, would be interesting.
Yeah, he's very receptive. He's very receptive, I think, to the fact that if he's used, let's say, as the 13th forward to come in, every second, third game and help out the team in that regard, then he's never complained. Like we saw last year when he went down twice to Laval. I mean, he could have been a complainer, but he wasn't. He went down there, he worked on what he had to, came back and was that much stronger. And that's the kind of guy he is. He's very much team oriented. So, for 2 years, it's worth the investment. The money won't be the real issue here. It's the length and whether he's willing to be, let's say, the 13th forward.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So look, this is we're going to do two things the next couple of minutes, guys. First of all, we're going to finish with the last subject of the night. We have a couple more, but I'm going to stop there. Then we're going to invite people, Mr. Enortap, for about 30 minutes to wish Happy New Year like we did at Christmas, if you don't mind, about that. The next 3 games, Mr. Enortap, Vegas, Chicago, Colorado. And we didn't have anybody last week did a prediction, so we're going to restart that, Mr. Enortap.
Okay.
With that one.
Boy. So we got Vegas, Chicago, and Colorado. Man. I'm gonna go with 3 points. 3 points.
2 or 3?
3. I think they're gonna win one game and bring one of either Vegas or Colorado to overtime before losing. So I go with 3 points.
You're absolutely about that, but I will go with look. No quiz, but I'm coming soon with some of them very soon. Gary go with 2 and 1, 4 points for Gary Conway, Mr. Top. The most optimist about one, and we have the opposite. Abination go with 0. About that, I go with 2. Luc Laforcine go with 2. So I feel good to be with Luc down them with Luc Laforcine this week. About that, Martin Bazinet go with 2. About this, Ken, welcome back. By the way, Ken go with 4 points, Mr. Top. Ken went 4, welcome back. Jazz 2 points, welcome back. Long time. We missed
Devin
Jazz, right?
Oh my goodness. Okay, I hope Devin's right. 6 points.
Malekes go with you, Mr. Top. You affect Malekes for that one. Ron go with 2. Luc Lafontaine go with 4. Tonight, LK go with 1 is the first one to go with 1. Nicolas, Nick in the beach, Chicago, and 26 with 4 on that one. A2 will go with 5.
All right, A2.
There's the highest
I like the
number
optimism.
right now.
I like the
On the
optimism. No,
Pete Martin.
Devin gave 6 points.
I know. PW go with 3 also. I guess you Danny T go with T with 3. Luc Ensign, well, I said Luc, I apologize. L. Ensign, welcome back, by the way. Thanks for all the likes we got so far. Jimbo, gotta go, guys. I wish put thanks. How many points, Jimbo, for the Montreal Canadiens before you leave the building? That'd be good to hear that, Mr. Enortap. I would finish here, Mr. Enortap, all the preview of the game. David, go with 6 points, Mr. Enortap. This is the highest one of the show tonight. David considers to be exact.
I hope so, Devin. I hope so.
About that. Mr. Enortap, we did it during the Christmas time. I don't know if I have it here. Here we go, Mr. Enortap. It was the celebration of the Super Chat with 10 people tonight on that one. And what we're going to do tonight, Mr. Enortap, we're going to bring people to join us live.
We have to work on our synchronization, eh?
I'm sorry again?
Well, we did a super chat. We have to work on our coordination.
Yeah.
And synchronization.
Boy, she said, I'm going to watching them. Gislain, I got you, my friend, with that one there. So I welcome everybody to join us in the chat. We're going to talk about live, talk about your 2024, what your expectation for 2025, the wish for the Montreal Canadiens, and one thing you're looking for the Montreal Canadiens happening before the end of the season. So it go that way over there. And
join us, please.
We'll go. Bob Smith, I did not hear anything from Jack. I'm going to not. Jack McCall go with 6, by the way. I did not get the one from Bob Smith. I don't know. Bob Smith have some point on that one over there. So, how this work out? We're going to open up the line, and then after we're going to talk with us. Everything. We're going to be there for about 30 minutes max. It's already 10:30, and we want to invite everybody. Maybe Danny can join us or any others, guys. Just talking about everything. Ron, you're absolutely right. We got the 60 over. Great one about that one for sure. For the likes tonight. So again, this is the last show of the year for the weekly report on 2024. We'll be back next week, of course, Sunday. Montreal play today is Tuesday. We play Friday and we play Saturday, Mr. Enortap. And then Sunday we'll be back with that one. The Kraken lead 3-2, 4-2, Mr. Enortap, right now.
Yeah, and I just want to take the opportunity, Coach, before we get people joining, just to wish everybody a happy New Year. Next time, I guess we will talk live. We'll be in the New Year, 2025. I wish everybody joy, happiness, and most importantly, health in the upcoming year. And of course, continue for the Habs to do well. Thank you.
Welcome, Mr. Enortap. We wish you the best. I'll wish you the best year of your life in 2025. We want to thank you also for your time you gave to the channel here about that. And we have Mr. Enortap, surprisingly. Claude Richard is in the house tonight, Mr. Enortap. First time we see Claude Richard live. Claude Richard, Mr. Enortap, follow me everywhere. I appreciate a lot for that one. Merci beaucoup, Claude. Glad to see you live, by the way. And hopefully you're doing well. We're going to wait a little bit. Claude and French and English. Claude, comment ça va?
Claude, you're gonna have to lower the volume there.
Here we go. We have Danny T. Hello, Claude Richard. Welcome back, Danny. With a Toronto Maple Leaf behind him. He looked like more like a Danny. He looked like now like more like a manager of the Whistler of the WWE, Mr. Enortap.
Let me change. Let me change just for Danny. I'll change just for Danny.
Anybody? Before that, Danny, PLW should give me the answer. Who was the manager à la lutte dans le temps de Johnny Rougeau? Pas le manager Johnny Rougeau, pas the opener, the little kid, the little guy. PLW or anybody in the chat in French follow la lutte and the French station. He was the manager of the. Yeah. I don't remember. But we'll see. Claude, peux-tu nous entendre?
Oui.
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien.
Oui. Comment sont tes fêtes?
Les quoi?
La période des fêtes, comment ça se déroule?
Ah, pas pire. On est sur la famille, là.
OK. Vous avez resté chez vous, à la maison?
Non, on a été à Leslie Lake.
OK.
Ma fille a un chalet là.
C'est bien. Aucun plan pour la New Year?
Non, pas vraiment. Faut regarder du hockey encore.
OK. Luc Lafortune a répondu. Eddie Crashman, the answer about that one over there. Luc Lafortune, you're absolutely right about this. Eddie Crashman, great point about that one. For that one. Danny, long time. Mr. Danny, how's going on? How you been?
I've been pretty good. I've been pretty busy in my end there.
Are you still working with Amazon?
No. I was doing Home Depot.
Okay. I
I
know it's delivery.
Yeah, I was delivering for Home Depot. Hey, okay. Ron, how are you?
Hello.
Plus, I sing a lot. I'm still waiting for you to show up, Coach. You need to sing "I'm Too Sexy."
Why sing it when he is, right?
Right?
Well, believe it or not, I thought Larry came up and sang.
I only said cheese. By the way, Enortap, I don't know, but Danny, guys, long time ago, like at the beginning, like maybe year number 2, Danny pop up in the chat, everything like that. And at the beginning, Danny, during the winter, he was fishing on the lake.
Yeah.
Ice fishing.
You
right?
still do
in
that?
his in his Boston Bruin hut.
Talking about fishing is the starting of les Poulamons à Saint-Baptiste. C'est quoi Donnacona, les Poulamons? I remember that one been there a long time ago. It's a little bit like Danny has, like a little bit cabin, and you fish in the hole, or you sit inside the cabin. Les Poulamons. Long time ago. This is long time ago. But Danny, are you still fishing with your brother?
Yeah, we haven't for a couple of years because it hasn't been frozen. But we're going this year, and like Enortap said, where I go fishing, it's all Montreal Canadian fans, but me. I'm the only Leaf fan, but my shack it looked like a Boston Bruin color.
Yeah, don't lie, Dan. We know you got that Boston jersey. You got that Marchand.
No, I got actually. Go hide.
There's the
Burn
proof.
that, man. Burn that. It's not me,
There's the
ladies
proof.
and gentlemen. It's not me.
He's a closet Hab. He's a closet Hab.
No. I'm a Leaf fan. I'm a Leaf fan.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
keep
still got
convincing
that
yourself.
picture? You still
Keep
got
kinda
I
that
got that
picture?
convincing
photo too.
yourself.
I
Of
should make that
course,
photo
yeah.
my screensaver.
I'll send it to you, Ron.
I think I have it. I'll let you
Yeah,
know.
but look at the picture though, Internet. Look
Yeah.
at my face. I am burning. I am melting
No.
wearing that jersey.
You're
Well,
just trying to match the color.
Realistically,
j'avais mis le gilet.
Danny,
C'était mon plan.
you look constipated, to be honest.
Well, don't you blame me. Look what I was wearing. A Montreal Canadiens jersey.
I thought you were just trying to match the red.
No, I was trying to go to the toilets. You know, you guys,
Oh.
they have a seat. It looks like a toilet seat, right? So that's why I was wearing it. It didn't work. I'm just kidding, guys. I just want to say something about the Habs, okay?
Here we go.
I've been reading all the comments. You guys need to be more positive because you do have a good team. Nobody needs to be traded in that team. If they get their acts together, they will go far. And they're not far. Look, 5 points, guys. 5 points. That's 2 games and a half of wins that you tie up with the Ottawa Senators. Look at Ottawa's going up. And you guys are not far. You're not far. But like Coach said earlier, it depends what the other teams will do. Like the Rangers and the other teams, they need to keep on losing and Montreal keep on winning. Then you will see Montreal go make the playoffs.
And the reason Danny is positive because every year he show up at the playoff and he's thinking you have to go to your round number 2. So he stay positive to all the way, and then he hit the wall at the first
Coach.
round of the playoff.
Well, as we all know, Toronto's never made it to a third round. So that should be their goal. When they won their
Well-
cups, I think, what was it, just 2 rounds they had to do to win the Stanley Cups?
Yeah.
If
back
they
then.
make the second round, they make the second round. I go day by day, you know. How many years did I say it? To you run and coach and Enortap. They need to stop paying attention to Matthews. Look,
Yeah.
Matthews is around. Every single one of them are scoring. They were counting too much on Matthews. I
Yeah.
would trade Matthews today for a cheerleader. But that cheerleader stays at my house, though. He doesn't go with the
You know,
It's kind of like,
you know, Danny,
It's
it
a-
remind me the story about Ovechkin. You have a great report today about Ovechkin's story, where it took him like what 13, 14 years and after before he won the Stanley Cup,
Yeah.
yeah.
right? And I think that will happen with Under Matthews one day. Maybe not with the Toronto, but I think he take time to get there. I think this year is going to be looking a little bit better if the goaltender, but if they can keep everybody for the following year, I think they have the better lineup roster right now, like they never have for the last couple of years. Now, how are they going to carry on it's all the pressure the playoff, right? You never win and you believe it's going to happen again, it's going to happen again. But I think this year they have a better chance like never have before. That's it would happen, but it could
Oh,
happen.
Yeah, we got good
Time will tell.
goaltenders.
Time will
We got
tell.
good
I
goaltenders.
mean, the Leafs traditionally what they've done is their third and fourth lines. They've changed them every year. Like there is no consistency there. Part of that is because their top two lines are way overpriced. But sometimes, like I said earlier, you have to do that to maintain those players in the city. And they play musical chairs with their defenders. They still have two goalies that I mean, as much as Stolarz has been really stellar this year, he's never been a number one. And so can that translate to the playoffs? And Wall is also very injury prone. So those are the big question marks. Otherwise, the Leafs have a very good team.
Yeah.
So,
Good point about that. We'll see what he look like. Honestly, it's still early in the season, but the story about Ovechkin, guys, is happening. When they draft Ovechkin, it was the year where the owner Leonis, is it Leonis,
Yeah,
buy the
Leonis.
team, or the year before that, anyway, and he invite him. Ovechkin to join a dinner at his family house, or the Leonis house. He was 20 years old, and they have conversation, everything like that, and they talk about hockey, everything like that. And after the dinner, Ovechkin set up and he pick up all the plate, the dishes, and he clean up everything. He washed the dishes, everything like that. And the family was looking at each other like, he's 20 years old. He's from Montreal. And then he start to clean up the house, everything like that. Everything. It was impressed, Leonis. It was really impressed. So at the end of the night, he make a deal with him. He said, "Look, I want you to be a part of the Capitals for the rest of your life." And Ovechkin said, "I will never leave the Capitals." And you can
well, you know
see,
what?
you can see that tradition stay together forever together.
Because
And
Donald Trump, because Donald Trump and Putin are like this.
yeah, but that's another story for on that one. But that happened for
Ovechkin's not
Ovechkin in the
leaving.
Capitals, so would be interesting. He's still 25 goal now to pass Gretzky, and he become an icon, and he becomes something important for the Capitals, and that's the reason why they won the Stanley Cup. You cannot win a Stanley Cup back to back many times. You cannot win the Stanley Cup 5, 6 times. But during those years, you can see how important was Ovechkin for Capitals, but how they treat each other with respect. With
Respect.
Ovechkin, Ovechkin never talked badly about the Capitals. He never been negative about the Capitals, and that relationship was really good between both of them. And now the Kraken take the lead 5-2 and now.
I was gonna say I watched something on Ovechkin and on his life in Russia, and it was kind of he watched a bunch of friends and family die after school because it's either you succeed or it's you kind of go down the drug path that leads to other criminal things, and a bunch of his friends, like I said, friends, family died, and that's not what he wanted. So I think it was his brother that got him into hockey, and Ovechkin put his life into it, put his heart into hockey, and so it's not really surprising that with the owner of Washington, that Ovechkin wanted to keep him close, wanted to stay there, all that
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, he's had quite the story.
Yeah, absolutely. But we missed our run. I apologize for that one. I think it was 4, but we are 5. So I apologize for that
And
one.
then
Look, I'm going to ask all of you 2025, one for your team and one for your personal life. And I do an exercise every year for the last 14 years, I believe. I always put a year with one word. Every year I put a word, like it could be, I don't know. I would say to you, it could be focus. It could be progression, whatever it is. I always use one word. So I know it's not that, it's take a lot for 30 seconds to think about this, but I will ask you in our tap your wish list or what you thinking for 2025 for the Montreal Canadiens. for your personal life, and what would be your first word of the year 2025?
For me, it's easy. It's all about health. I think we have nothing if we don't have health in this world. I think that there's many people that are suffering for different reasons, whether it's physical, mental, whatever the case might be. And I wish everybody to find that happiness and that good health moving forward in 2025. So far as the Montreal Canadiens are concerned, I just wish for them to continue the progress that they've been showing so far developmentally. And it will. I've always been a patient individual, and I believe in what the team organization, team brass is doing with the team. And it's going to take time, but you got to have patience, right? You can't be as high as when they're winning 3, 4, 5 games in a row, and you can't be as low as when they're losing 4 or 5 in a row. You have to be very stable and just stay the course. And I just wish them continued progress and development.
Yeah, good point about that. And I'll go with Danny.
With me, with the Habs.
No, your team.
Oh, my team. Because if it
Yeah.
would have been the Habs, everybody's going to come up here and kill me. You know that.
We'll do it anyways.
Oh, I know. I'm kind of used to that. Anyways, for the Leafs, I go day by day, Coach. I used to get excited. My blood pressure used to go up all the time. And every time I think they're going to win tonight, they freaking lose. Or they're winning, they end up losing at the end. I just go day by day. What I've noticed that now Matthews is not around. They've been scoring like crazy, every single one of them. Like Marner's been scoring. Tavares is doing amazing this year. You got the other players like Matthew Nice. And I've noticed we got an amazing goaltender. And I'm not talking about Wall. I'm talking about the goaltender that we picked up from the Penta, the
Stolarz.
Florida Panthers. Oh my!
Stolarz.
We need him in the playoffs. Honestly, we need him in the playoffs. If
Yeah.
he plays in the playoffs as the number one goaltender, we're going far. We are going to pass the second round, or we might end up winning the Stanley Cup. We don't know. I still say Batman is involved in this. He doesn't want any Canadian teams to win. They pay the referees, you know, or they do something on the side under his desk. I don't know, but that's besides the point. But
He's in love with McDavid.
not one Canadian team won since 1993, and it was the Montreal Canadiens. And when well, I call him Harry Bettman, but is it Harry? No, it's Gary.
Gary.
He looks
Gary.
Harry to me. Since he's there, not one Canadian team have won the Stanley Cup. So he needs to retire, or I'm going to go at his place, bust his tires, make sure that he doesn't make it the arenas during the playoffs. Now, my personal life. My channel coach is doing very well. I wish you'd be coming in once in a while. Come watch us, and I would bring you up there. Um, I do sing a lot. I've been getting a lot of people coming listening to me sing, and I don't think I can sing tonight because you're using a different. I'm used to StreamYard, so I don't know how to adjust my equipment with your stream.
All right, first
But
of
I'm
all,
focusing with my two grandkids. I'm focusing with my two grandkids. They're living with me temporarily right now. Hopefully, they're going to end up going home soon because their mother are driving me nuts. Like my grandkids are angels compared as my daughter. Trust me. But I'm looking forward. 2025, Coach, is a better life, thinking positive, and I hope I get a big fish this weekend.
Good night.
And everybody in the chat, all night, you guys are not good fish. You're not good fish. I've been fishing in the chat, and it was only one bite. I used to get like all the views hooked to my hook, but there was only one. I think it was Jimbo that bit, but nobody else bite.
We're getting smarter.
Yeah, I know. I see that. All right, that's it for me. I kneel back. Nice to meet everybody on this chat, and you look familiar. Oh, this guy. This guy right there.
Cheers, Danny.
That's John Tortorella.
For that, we want to thanks. We want to thanks Danny to join us tonight. Also, we want to wish you an amazing, great year of 2025, and hopefully, you're going to go to the Matarin more often in 2025 versus 2024 to get your buffet with your friends or your family.
Oh, Coach, don't talk about the Mandarin, please. Enortap knows why.
But we welcome Pete Martin, the new Dale Earnhardt of the show,
Oh,
Mr.
that's
Enortap.
Pierre. I said it,
Yes,
Pierre.
Salut, mon Danny.
Yes. Ça va, ça va?
Oui, merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Hey, Danny, I brought something out for your commentary there for you. The 1993 Stanley Cup. Illustrated poster of the Canadiens.
But the next time you'll win that is in 2093.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. But I have an even better one for the Coach and Enortap. This is part of my collection here. And this here would be the big post. You see all the
Ooh,
pictures
Very
on
nice.
there?
The logo.
So you have, and they're all signed, right? So we have Ken
Serge
Dryden.
Savard.
We go this way.
Very
Serge
nice.
Savard, Guy Lafleur,
Wow.
and Ken
That's
Dryden.
awesome.
Now,
Nice.
Ken Dryden is practically impossible to get because he didn't really like to sign autographs.
You're right.
But,
You're right.
But I got lucky. I got that one. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I actually have one from the Rocket that because after his career, he opened up what is it? Furniture store, not really furniture, appliances, kitchen appliances and stuff like that. And my dad knew him personally, and he was
Oh,
up in
wow.
the office. So we went up to the office, and they weren't making much money back then, eh? So we went up to the office, and he signed a card for me with the Rocket, number 9. And I knew his brother. It was
Nice.
great.
Nice.
You know, when the Canadians, the little kids went on the ice and got their jerseys signed.
Number
Yeah.
10.
Okay. This one here was some kid named Danielle. But on it, we got Dougie Gilmore up here. And then you got
Goes in
Big
the
John
fire, Danny.
Ferguson. John Ferguson. I'm not too sure about the other two right here. Number 11 for the Canadians. And it's not Gallagher.
Yvonne Lambert. Yvonne Lambert.
Bye. Okay, that's good to know. And then this one here, number 27, I believe. So I'm not too
27
sure.
was it Rick Chartres? Coach, do you remember? Was it Rick Chartres, number 27?
27. Yep. Rick Chartres.
Yeah.
Very good, Enor. I knew I could trust Enor on that one. You're brilliant.
Number
Anyways,
27
nice.
from Montreal. I thought it was Shane Corson.
Shane Corson was.
Jake
yeah,
Carson was
okay.
27 too.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're right. You're right.
I
Good
think I
one,
did
Danny.
think Corson. That makes more
I'm not
sense. That would be
supposed to
Shane
know that.
Corson.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I
Frank
got tons
Mahop
of
would too.
Claude
awesome.
Richard,
I'm just aging myself.
Claude Richard, c'est qui ton joueur le mieux préféré? Les Canadiens?
Maintenant,
Ouais, now and then in the past.
ben, c'est toujours été Lafleur.
There we go. Best pick.
Yeah. The flower.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers there, Pierre.
Cheers
Have a
to you,
special
Danny.
cup. Have a
Good to
special
see
cup.
you, buddy.
Cheer for everybody. This is a cup you
Yeah.
got to take in.
Oh, really?
With little pieces of cheese in it.
All right.
I'm actually celebrating my 38th anniversary of no alcohol. So this is actually coffee in
Oh,
here. It's a pint
Well,
glass.
happy anniversary on that.
congratulations, Pierre.
Yeah, thank you.
Did
Thank you.
you know that Guy Lafleur used to live near Luc Lafortune? Our Luc Lafortune in the chat?
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Luc is from Masson Angers, ou la Lange Gardien. And Guy
Right.
Lafleur was
Luke.
from Tercel. He was from Tercel.
Luke, come and join
Tercel.
us, Luke.
Yeah,
All right.
where's Luke?
He's in the chat. He's in the chat.
Bob Smith, he said, I'm outdated. I have only a poster of Raquel Welch, prehistoric poster on the wall.
Hey, it's a good
Okay.
poster to have.
You want to make a trade?
Coach, have you met Farrah Fawcett?
I have a Farrah Fawcett in my room also.
Oh, she was
on
in the Playboy page number 3, wasn't she?
Yeah. And I have all the encyclopedia of Allo Police, Photo Police, beside my bed. Beside my bed.
Uh,
Oh, si oui, les Allo Police, vous m'en souvenez à Montréal. Allo Police. On avait ici aussi à Ottawa, the Allo Police. I got so much in trouble by my mom when she caught me.
Not
I
bad.
had it under my blanket, under my mattress. So I guess mom was cleaning my bedroom, and she cut all my Allo Police new pictures.
Oh, the page 3, yeah. The Journal de Montréal had a page 7.
Did
Yeah,
they?
but the Allo Police, if you remember, or Photo Police, one of the two, I cannot remember which one of them, but the picture was at the middle of the newspaper. It was right there, like it was at the middle
Hold
of the
up.
newspaper, right? So when you go to the store, what you try to do is you pick up the Photo Police and then you bring it home and then you remove that picture and then you close it, you give to your parents, and then they never see that page, the double page on that one over there. But it was an historic, and the Photo Police one was young to get that one. It was a good one. Every week, the Sunday, everybody was waiting for that one to get out a newspaper about that. But yeah, it was a great time. So we want to move on with Ron, the Kings or the Utah, and then what you wish for the 2025.
So mine's kind of like Enortap's, just health. Just have a healthier year, get healthier, get outdoors more, do a lot more hiking. So I get my health up, I can do that. And then for LA, it's stay healthy. Keep doing what they're doing. I feel like the last 4 years, I feel like their best year so far, especially with young guys. And with the way that it's going, get that number 2 spot so we can have home advantage against Edmonton. Because I think we're going to
well,
go round
they
4.
won the in overtime. They won in overtime the other night, didn't they?
We need to learn to win in the playoffs. So, yeah. So I think it's just healthy all around for LA, me, all that. I was going to say for the Habs, keep the confidence up. Understand what you've got. Don't take what they're doing right now for granted. They need to know that they've got a good special team that can and has shown that they can do something. So, and I honestly think it's confidence in their team. It keeps going up, and hopefully it never goes down.
True enough.
So yeah,
Well said.
yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for me.
I totally agree with you, Ron. Totally
Yeah.
agree. That's why it gets
Yep.
me. That's why it gets you guys going in the chat. When I see you guys so negative in there, I just rub it in your faces. That's all I do. you know, but
It's not
trying
me.
to tell you guys at the same time. I know, because you know me too well now, Pierre. But the thing is I'm trying to rub it in your face for you guys to wake up. You guys have a good team. When you win, I'm gonna say it again, Intertap. I'm gonna say it again. He hates it when I say it. When the Habs wins, it's just like the Stanley Cup. They just won the Stanley Cup. But when they
Of course.
lose, they want to trade every single player in the team.
No.
Why?
No.
That's
It's not true.
that's never been our position, anyways.
No,
It's about
not,
patience.
not
You
us.
gotta no.
I don't know. I
Yeah, I
must be
get that.
reading the wrong chat. Hey, Rod.
No, I get where they're coming from. It took LA 7 years to get back to where they are now, and I lost patience for a while, especially with Byfield.
Oh,
And nothing
So
is
and it,
ever
Coach,
guaranteed.
yeah,
Nothing's ever
Coach,
guaranteed either.
I was live the other day. Okay, I brought my mother to show her the Christmas lights. Intertap was in my chat. It was rated R, big time. So I put the Montreal Canadiens down. You should have heard my mother. Ooh, she's a Montreal Canadiens fan.
Good for your mother.
Oh my God. She was telling me the F off, right, left, and
oh
center.
wow,
Larry heard it. Intertap heard it because I know Intertap made a comment. This should
I
be
like that
rated R.
lady. I like that lady.
I love your
Oh my
mom,
God.
Danny. Not you so
Yes.
much, but your mom. Get your mom in the chat.
But the part of this, Pierre, she forgot the day of my birthday. I asked her, when's my day of my birthday? She says April 7th. Well, that's funny. I've been celebrating April 6th for 52 years, Mom. But I think she's having dementia now.
yeah,
But
maybe.
No,
she'll never forget
it's-
about the Montreal because I told her Montreal sucks. Oh my God. I was driving, man. Oh yeah, she hit me in my arms and everything. See, you Montreal fans are crazy. All right, let me get it back.
Oh, and I would say for Utah, now keep pushing hard. Uh, I would say I hope they make a playoff spot. They're not far out from it, but when you've got teams like Dallas, Vancouver, I guess you could even say Calgary. Those aren't going to be easy teams to pass by, but it looks like they're having fun, and that's what they need to continue to do. Have fun, enjoy not just Utah, but enjoy having so many fans at their
Yeah.
games again. So,
Yeah.
and then you kind of asked me how they promoted Utah. So I was watching the game the other night, and I told you like prices are down. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't realize it's like $2 for a bottle of water, 3 for ice cream. I want to say like $4 or $5 for a burger. Yeah, they said it's the cheapest all around throughout all the leagues, and I was like, oh wow. I was like, that's
Wow.
crazy that he's able to do this. But if it helps bring people in, do it.
Well, yeah, that's the whole issue, right? It's to
Yep.
get people to sort of involved and grow the sport that way. Starts
Yep.
with the young kids and then moves up.
Then I do like that the owner's there every game. He doesn't miss a game.
Yeah,
So
they
he's
seem very
in there.
dedicated. Both him and his wife are
Yeah.
very dedicated to the cause.
Yep. Yeah, but yeah, it's just what I want. Fun, have fun, keep pushing.
How about you, Pete?
Hey, Daddy, I wanted to just say something first. Daddy, I got my glasses on because I got new eyes. I got an operation on my eyes, and
Oh,
I
did
can't
you?
I can't put them in light because of the cataracts, But they're getting better
Yeah.
and better every day, so I don't want to ruin everything that's going good,
Good,
I
good.
wear sunglasses too because my eyes are sensitive, and I have a
Right?
heater in front of me. I don't know if you can see my face is yellow. So I have a heater that's facing in my face, so I can't see the
Okay.
screen without the glasses on. Well,
Okay.
how was
Danny
the
cries a lot.
operation?
You
¿Cómo
know,
es que está
Danny, the only time you would hear me complaining was last year when we still had Drouin. Drouin was my rag doll. I didn't like that guy ever. And
Your thorn in the side.
right, and then this year I had a problem with Dach for much of the season until the last 10 days. 10 days, he's been much better player. He's putting the effort in, and he's there. He goes up against the boards. Before he wasn't. Maybe it's because of his injury, but I think Dach is doing much better, much better. So I'm happy overall. I'm very happy with the Habs this year, and their improvements, and very happy with our coach, and everything is hunky dory as far as I'm concerned. We're on the path to rebuild. So let's go.
That's it.
Exactly.
Go Habs, go.
You're right about
There's a
that.
lot. Because somebody made a comment to me one day. Oh, you always agree with coach is saying. It's reality. You know what I mean? I agree with coach and I agree with Enortap. But there's somebody I don't agree with because that's a different story. But whatever comes out with Enortap and coach, I totally agree.
Nothing wrong with that.
So Danny,
you'd be wrong.
Danny, we are at the end of the show. I don't want to keep everybody here. Claude Richard just left, so Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks so much, Claude Richard. Claude, you guys, you've been with us for a couple of years. He's always been pop-up left and right. So Claude just left, so I just want to hear good Happy New Year. But Danny, you're going to
Bonne année,
finish
Claude.
with a
Coach.
song, Sweet Alabama.
I can't do it on here because you're not using StreamYard.
Come on, do it.
Test
Good
one,
ass
two,
song.
three.
Give us a little Elvis. Come on, Danny.
Give us some abracadabra.
How's that sound, Coach? Testing one, two,
Like
three.
you're in an empty shower room.
Can I do an Elvis song, Coach?
Go ahead.
Okay, but how does sounds like? Is I'm not set up here. Like
That's okay.
I'm normally.
You got a lot of echo.
Okay, Coach, can you go on me and put me on stereo, please?
On steroids? What?
Stereo.
And it's trying to grow.
I cannot move in with my software. I cannot change things left and right.
You got to sing it like that.
But it's all right,
Sing
Danny.
it.
It's no big deal.
A cappella. A cappella, Danny. Go. A cappella.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll do an Elvis one.
Is it working, Danny, or not?
Yeah.
Jailhouse Rock.
No.
Hound Dog.
Here he comes.
I also want to see that Forrest Gump dance as well.
Okay, I want you. Can you hear the background?
Not
It's
too
all
bad.
good, Danny. Sing.
You're good.
Can you hear it?
Just try it.
Did you hear the background?
No.
I can hear something.
Can you hear that?
No. Don't worry about that, Danny.
Just sing it, Danny. Sing it.
Or just Danny, tell us like the people can join you on your YouTube channel when you do live. What the name of your channel again, so the people can subscribe.
Or not.
Yeah, I don't think you heard your coach.
No, I heard him. So, what I have to do, Coach, is basically. Can I put a link on the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll put the link on the chat.
that's all good. Don't worry about that. Look, guys, it's 11 o'clock. We don't want to push Enortap to be with us for over 3 hours. So I don't want to put him too much about that. But look, Ron, moderator, Danny Marator and Arta Marator, and co-host. Thank for all the three guys to what you do at the channel for many years. So it's really thankful, very grateful. Pete Martin, again, glad to see you. Hopefully, see you again. Great guys. Guys, been with us for many years, and we wish the best for 2025. You helped Pete and speed recovery, and we always like to read your posts in the channel. And we're really glad to see you all the time when we pop up here. We're going to do more friends on the year, guys. To have those kind of, at the late show like that. Understand people, and some leave early. So to sharing our thought about fun thing, I think that's a great. It's fun to do that together, and hopefully to repeat again. The YouTube channel of Danny is right there. Yamu, guys, is in the chat. By the way, Yamu, welcome back, and hopefully you're doing well in Finland. Yamo checking the World Junior Championship 2025. Last word before you leave, guys. First of all, Happy New Year. But I'm going to start with Pete Martin. Then I'm going to delete you, Ron. Delete you, Danny, Ron. Then I delete you, and after I will keep you for the final word. But what your expectation, Pete, from Team Canada, again, Team USA, and where do you feel they're going to finish at the World Junior Championship 2025 if you follow Team Canada, Pete?
I'm worried about Team Canada, to be honest. I just don't see them being as good as the U.S., that's for sure. I think they take too many penalties. I think their goaltending isn't bad, but it's not. We need better goaltending than that if we're going to beat USA. That's it. They were good with the teams they have played, Finland and Latvia, but I'm really worried about Team Canada for the juniors. And it's my first time I'm worried about them. Usually I'm like so positive about my Team Canada juniors that it's unusual to see them being outperformed like they are.
Do you have any memory of Team Canada, like a specific moment, a players or something, and all the years you're watching Team Canada and the last, 35 years, I believe now it is?
Well, as far as the juniors go, not really. But I'll tell you one thing. I remember in like 1972 when it was we played against the Russians. We filled the whole gym at school with little kids. We're all in elementary school, so it was like up to 10, 12 years old, right? And the whole gym was full and big on a little TV set. And there was a couple of kids, and it was a beautiful thing. And we won, even with the riots over there in Russia and everything. It was just fantastic. It was a beautiful thing. And then after that, we progressed, and I had the Montreal Canadiens, at my doorstep. So it was hockey's been a big part of my life all the way up until they got rid of Serge Savard. After that, when we had Peanut and we had Ronald Corey as the president and all this, it was too much for me. I couldn't take it. I was ready. I couldn't take it. So I stopped watching, and then I came to this channel, met the coach, met Enortap, met Danny, and we've been together ever since, like a little family, and it's a beautiful thing. And I thank you guys very much.
You're welcome, Pete. Just curious, Pete, when it was your first game, you went to the Forum.
Oh my God, it was at the old Forum.
Yeah.
And I think I was probably like 10 years old, and we went way up at the top. And there was standing room back then, so you would be able to stand up against the railings, and then all the seats were down below you. And I remember we'd smack on the metal. It was metal. That railing was made out of metal, so we'd smack it and cheer on, go Habs, go Habs, go, and all this. And it was just beautiful because I was there when they would lose 7, 8 games a year. That's it. So I saw all of that. And then at Chez Paris, I ran into Raymond Book and Wayne Gretzky at Chez Paris in the mid-afternoon during those series, during the Russian-Canada series. It was quite something. I mean, I wasn't 10 years old, but I, I was still a very young man. Put it
That's
that way. It was,
awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I think I was Chicago, by the way. I think my first game was against Chicago.
Which year?
Oh, I think it was probably like 1967.
Oh my
Year of
God,
the
I was
Expo.
there. Final score 5-0.
There you go.
I was section 212. I was looking for the Chinese girl as the usher behind the bench, but I was at the top. My dad was looking for me. I was right there behind the bench on Montreal looking for the usher girl. But look, yeah, was that game 5-0. Again, that was my first game, 1967 against Chicago Blackhawks. Tony Esposito was between the pipe.
Yeah, okay. Listen, I don't really remember that much, not as good as you do. But I mean, I
Pierre,
was
you
up
were
in the
right.
nosebleeds.
I remember
actually
to
love
see you, Pete. He was only upset, and he was upset for me. I remember to see you, Pete.
Good one, good one. It was
I,
very steep. You remember that form?
oh
How
yeah,
steep it was?
yep.
Like
It,
you're way up on top, but you were like almost on top of the ice. It was so steep. It was
Was
super
there a
steep.
girl spanking his monkey, Pierre?
the
Was there what?
Atwater, the Atwater Mall beside the Forum, the old Forum. A lot of
Hey,
great moments over there. A lot of great time. I've been there a couple of years, a couple of games per year for that one. But Pete, we'll let you go. You can stay with us if you want to. But Ron, same question for you. You know, memories about Team USA now. How you feel about Team USA for the
So
World Junior Championship?
I unfortunately don't get to watch the games up here. I haven't been able to find a site that shows them, and none of the restaurants up here find them good enough to show. They always show different things. So it's I either catch highlights or I just kind of see the score. It's I like our chances. It should be a good game against Canada. They always are. I think USA definitely we got lucky with the goalie we have. I don't know why I can't remember his name now. Who was it
For
against?
Canada?
No, for USA.
Oh, for USA.
Yeah, what's his name?
Um,
It's the Michigan goalie, right?
Augustine? No.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Oh, it's not.
Yeah. Not Augustine.
Why did
Um,
I thought it was
I
Augustine.
forget. Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah. I think.
Yeah. So it's. I think he's definitely going to help. Looking at like what they did, was it last year or when they last won it? It's trying to compare both teams. It's a little difficult. I'm going to try and find a site that will allow me to watch this game because they are exciting. It's always
Yeah.
USA, Canada. They're just a fun rival to watch. And then who did we? I know we lost the game after Latvia, and that one was kind of upsetting. What was it? Was it Finland we've lost to in over?
In overtime. Yeah.
Yeah,
No. Yeah, it was
Beat
Finland.
Finland.
4-3 in
yeah,
overtime.
Finland. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a little upsetting, but I mean Finland, they're a good team. So, but yeah, I think US takes it again. I think
55
tomorrow.
shots.
Yeah,
And we got
because I brought that up, I think to Devin. It's crazy the shots that Canada USA get. So it'll be interesting to see if it's 100-shot game tomorrow, or if both teams can lower those shots down, and it's going to be whoever gets that last shot wins that game.
I feel right now USA a little bit better. I think I'm a little bit worried about Canada. Canada play at home. I think they play with some kind of the pressure, the collapse. They lost a game, send that. I think also they panic really quickly, and they are nervous because they play at home. And put this together, it's coming from the coach, and I don't like it because the players feel it, and that's the biggest problem for Team Canada. So for me tomorrow, don't be surprised if USA win 5-2 tomorrow, something like 4-2, 5-2. I would not be shocked to see that tomorrow. Now after that, Canada could respond, but it'll be really hard for them. I don't like their body language right now. They don't find chemistry yet. They're searching. They try to get answer those questions, and this is the biggest problem. I'm not worried about the goaltender. I think Carter George is a good goaltender, but USA have a really another step over a Montreal Canadiens. Whatever they lose 4-3 against Finland, uh, they have the chemistry um, and advantage them versus USA. But again, it'll be a very good game. We're going to do live tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. Will follow us after we do the Montreal Canadiens and the Vegas Golden Knight at 3 o'clock p.m. Tomorrow afternoon. Well,
I thought that USA Canada that would end 4-2 or not 4-2, 3-2, maybe 4-3.
yeah, again, it could be completely wrong. We'll see what happens. Got comments for PLW, Justin La Framboise. Thanks again, Ron, for everything. Support the channel, everything. And then we want
No,
to
thank you.
also wish you and Amy a happy new year for that, for the upcoming year for you, Ron, and your family. Danny, the best moment for you in hockey, and what do you think about Team Canada?
Well, I haven't watched the games, honestly, Coach.
Okay.
I hope Canada wins it. Since when I'm for the Americans, I'm never for the Americans, anyways. Um, but what I'm listening right now looks like Canada is not going to win, for what I'm hearing. And my moments from Team Canada was like a long time ago. It was when Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and there was somebody else I forgot. There was the trios. They were amazing. I don't remember what was the third one. It was Mario Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky, and I forgot the
Dela
name.
Warchuk, Larry Murphy, Paul Coffey, the goal at
Paul
6
Coffey. Paul Coffey.
5
Yeah.
on that goal that you talk about. Facer was Dela Warchuk, by the way. And I still have a good memory enough that.
Yeah,
Yep.
you have an amazing memory.
Do.
He remembers me
And
from 1967.
I want to make a correction, guys. The game I won, it was a final score of 5-0. It was March 15, I believe. March 9, 1968, it was that game. It was Gone Worsley between the pipe for the Montreal Canadiens. I remember Gum. And I thought it was Tony Esposito, but it was Dave Dryden, guys, was the goaltender for the Chicago Blackhawks on that game. And we got 3 points of Jean Béliveau. And we have Dick Duff scored a goal, followed by Jacques Lemaire, and 2 goals of Gilles Tremblay. I think it was underrated, Gilles Tremblay, no? In our top?
Yeah, I think so. I thought he was always very solid. Yeah. I agree.
Talking about in our top, you're going to tell us your biggest moment of your Team Canada or the Montreal Canadiens, and then you're going to feel about Team Canada for the next couple of days.
Well, there's so many moments, right? If one thing we learn is over the years, international hockey has brought so much cohesiveness to the country, and the players have just been, they've gone on to so many good things, like from 72, 76, and on, like and now the juniors. Like there's always been a hero that emerges out of all of these, right? We all remember the Eberle goal back a number of years ago, and Connor Bedard had a great junior showing as well. There's just so many, Coach, and that's why, even though Canada doesn't, I don't think in my eyes has the best team there this year. One thing I've learned is never to discount them. They always have the heart to show up when the chips are down, and it's something I hope we see again this year because they do have the goaltending and they have very solid defense, and usually that wins games for you. I know they could have much better players on the team. I don't agree with some of the picks that they went with this year, but I'm not going to discount them until they're out because it's a winner take all kind of tournament, right? You win and move on, and anything can happen, right? A hot goaltender like we saw when we played Latvia, over 50 shots on net, and he stood on his head. I think he stole that victory. So that's what I remember a lot of those moments, and hopefully they can replicate that again this year. And you know what, Coach, just on behalf of everybody here on Hockey Nation, we want to wish you the best, continued success with the channel. The amount of work that you put into it and allows us all to come together and to just talk about hockey, talk about our lives sometimes, like we're doing tonight, but more importantly, just to sort of enjoy things moving forward together, right? Like the ups and downs of in this case the Montreal Canadiens, but in every other thing that comes up, and the amount of work you put into it, like especially behind the scenes, is phenomenal. You do an amazing job, and I think I speak for everybody when I say we wish you all the best in 2025 in terms of the channel, but more importantly, your health and hopefully it'll be a year full of much success, happiness, and health for you.
Thanks so much, Enortap. Thank you so much for all the moderators.
Amen.
Of course, you guys, you did so many things. Enortap most closely because you're co-host, many hours you put on the channel. And, the thing we want to for 2025 is just like life is short. Take a time to fulfill your life one day at a time with joys and happiness. And hopefully, you people around you, your family, your friends, make you more happier for 2025. And that's one thing we're looking for. 2024 was difficult for many of us, a challenge on the health or financially or whatever it is. But I really believe you have a new start of the year, make us to have a better way to have a better life. And that's the way to do this. And that's the way to keep your mind positive with faith. And remember, guys, like I said, that's the only thing I know about each one of you. Going to finish all together. You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Hey, voilà. Les amis, ça complète another show tonight. Ron, thanks so much. Pete Martin, always a pleasure to see you. Danny, hopefully see you more often. I know you're busy, man. I know you have a lot of things going on. So, but I always appreciate, Danny, when you pop up here. Whatever is only one time, two time. We love the fact you have Danny. The chat is more often active when you are around. And then Enortap, what I can say about you, Enortap, you have been not only a helper of the channel, but a really close friend. So I want to wish all of you, people in the chat, people on the screen, a happy new year and an amazing 2025. And remember, guys, you can change everything if you want to, if you are positive in front of you. So thanks again, everybody. We wish you an amazing, great 2025. And
what if I open my soul?
Happy New Year, guys.
Hold on, we're going to finish this way. I apologize for the sound about this. Danny, one more thing before you leave.
Uh-oh.
I like his speech less, Danny. So I like the fact that's the last word he said about the show tonight. On that, Ron, one more thing before you leave the building.
Just want to say have a happy new year, everybody. Hope it's a good one, and hope your year just continues to get better.
All right, Ron, have a good night, buddy.
You too.
Danny, one more thing before you leave the building, like we do with Elvis every night.
we're going to leave the building. Elvis will leave the building. Happy New Year to everyone. Bonne année à tout le monde. We have a pimp up there. Look on top of you.
Oh, good.
All right. Everybody, thank you for all supporting Coach. Hope that 2025 is going to bring you some happiness, and families first. Have a good night, everybody.
Danny, look forward to see you next
Danny.
time, my friend. Have a good night, Danny.
Good night.
Good night, Dan.
Here we go in our tab, and we're going to follow the show all the way to the end on this one. I try to pick up the best place to be together. Here we go. We got it, my friend. In our tab, that's it. That's all. What a year, 2024, we get
Another
together.
year.
We have so many great memories we accomplished during the year. The most important thing, guys, is we have a great time, and I cannot be more expressive to tell you I'm gratefully thankful and our tab to be with us all the time. So I wish you an amazing, great 2025, and
Thank
for you, for your mom and your family, and I can't wait to see you in 2025.
25, yes, of course, absolutely. We
Be
look
well,
forward to
be
it.
healthy.
Thank you.
Find a way not only to dominate your day, but one more time at the last time is on tap. Find a way to dominate the second half of what?
Year 2024.
He did it again. An amazing, great night in our tap. Wish the best for 2025. See you in 2025.
Good night, Coach. Good night, Hockey Nation. Always great.
All right, that's conclude, guys. The special show, the weekly report. We like to tell you, all of you guys, is a pleasure to entertaining you every night because the way you show up in the chat, like PLW said, we had fun opinion, we all agree, we all disagree, but we respect each other. This is maybe my biggest accomplishment in that chat and the people I do every night here is to respect each other. We cannot ask for more, and that's the word of my 2025, respect. Have an amazing, great night, everybody. Happy New Year. See you tomorrow, 3 p.m. for the Montreal Vegas. Oh. Booyah! Good night.